let's do this. So, last time you guys killed some trolls. You met with the Jackephine Onrue, who was an Air Genasi, who eventually told you that he would work with you if you would help him clear out some of these ice trolls that were located in a cave not far from where his small little front with the group known as the Flybys were located. Went, toppled them over, and upon doing so found a gem. Within this gem that was lodged within this large troll, you took it out, you guys scavenged around, took a bunch of the ears back, and showed that you had done the job. Jackephine was delighted. He brought you guys inside of their little, I'd say, cave area, and upon doing so, shared some info with you about how they traverse the skies, the cloud tops, about how they divulge information for a great wealth, and how Jackephine has been somewhat, I'd say, tied up with the Barren Void recently. Thinks there's things going on there, and that's pretty much what he's tied up in, but he's willing to help you. He's giving you aid of a young male named Iskander, who has basically been offered to train. We left off with you guys being left off inside this large cavern room inside this cave where it seems to be the current hideout of the Flybys. That's where we're going to pick up, is you guys deciding how you guys wish to traverse. You've been told that there's a charm that has a F with wings that is good for 24 hours once it's activated. That'll allow you guys to travel, a total of 6 of you, back to this location, which is here in the high peak. So, as you guys have been conversing off on by yourself, kind of over in the corner, away from Iskander and Jackephine, what do you guys do?
So we have been told that Iskander is going to help us train and some doobly-doo.
Yep.
To help us do the thing.
Now, you guys haven't really decided how you want to get there, other than, I mean, obviously you guys want to try and fly there, but there's faster means of travel, which means you have to use bigger equipment. Mm-hmm. There's, lighter means of travel, but it'll take longer. Mm-hmm. You guys, know that Durdell Harriet was going to be meeting in 2 nights, because we're almost 1 full day into that. Mm-hmm. So you're not quite sure how long it takes him to get back, but
we also have to worry about the charm. Doesn't it have an expiration?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's 24 hours.
Charm? Charm? The Hearthstone.
Yeah, the homing her.
The token. Okay, yep. Okay. I thought you meant like a charm effect. I was like, wait, what? Effect?
So, we need to get there as fast as possible. So, use locate person or find ship or scry. It's
true.
That's the only way. Unless sending, we should send now. Do you have sending? Life?
Do it about.
Can you message Teldris and ask for his location?
I messaged him before asking where he was. All he told me was that he was out by the area.
He didn't have a specific.
Yeah, but when was the last time you messaged him?
When I got access to the sending spell.
Which was when again?
Probably like a week in game.
I have no idea.
Longer?
No, because that was.
You guys have traveled for a while. It's been a minute since you talked. Easy. You guys have been away from home.
So asking his location
for almost
now,
2 weeks.
After he's been there a long
like a week
time.
and a half almost. Because you guys, last time you talked at home, you guys traveled up to New Wall, have been to the High Peaks, which was almost 2 days. So you're about 3 days in almost now.
No, how long have you had the spell sending?
gained access to 3rd level spells.
Which was when?
Pretty much like right before we got to the tower.
Before we got the land.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been like in game time, like months.
Month.
Oh, it's Adre. Where are you exactly in Adre?
That it? Okay, you wait a moment. Nothing. About 5 minutes. I'm in a large city. Covered in fog. The plants are all dead here.
Oh, he's in.
I'm being kept. Please help, Uncle. And you hear just a slight distress in his voice before the end of it.
He's in a foggy city with dead plants.
Like,
You say that out loud. You hear Jackephine. I know of a city, Adre. That's...
I pull out my 10 maps. Is it on any of these?
You pull them out and you start going through them, and you notice he looks at a
I
few.
bought 10 of them.
He throws about 9.
All of them different.
He throws almost 9 of them away, and he rips one of them in half. So you have like 1 and half of one. Most of this is wrong. This is way out of date. What do you know of Adre?
It's not as their religious capital. I've never been there.
He takes a step back. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you are all traversing to Adre, and none of you know what lies west?
West of Adre, west of here, west
Here.
of.
We
I mean,
know
west of
kind
here
of-
would be rocks.
Well,
The rocks continent.
which is
West-
why instead
southwest.
flying
Sorry.
north-
I was gonna say west is a big direction.
Why we
Here
came
with
here
you.
originally was to avoid that.
Yeah.
He kind of looks back at Iskander. You're not prepared.
Shit.
He kind of takes a step back.
we're obviously not.
Iskander, go get some of the equipment.
We only plan on being there.
No, okay. Well, there's things I thought you knew. No one just travels to Adre within the last 10, 15 years without knowing some of the things that are happening there.
Yeah, no, that was our plan. Yeah. We know that there's a.
So,
We've heard that there's a. I wouldn't say a revolution, but Eric has been claiming that there's some kind of big to-do happening soon.
Oh,
He's
there-
collecting individuals.
oh, there is.
But
Oh, they're also buying kids.
yeah, collecting.
Have you ever heard of a god named All?
I have in a book that he currently holds.
I have.
But
Sort of this, or just
God
Mm.
damn it, I don't know what his notes are. I have to go get- What?
God of murder.
Is it
Oh,
God
nice.
Murder? Yeah.
Is he the one? Is it like murder and like betrayal? Like is it all that?
It's
The whole
evil.
domain?
It's all bad.
That's nice.
And
That's
you
great.
you know that they feed to this god purely based on blood and sacrifice.
Oh, great! And there's people selling kids. It's just fantastic.
Oh, they may not be just doing that. You clearly don't know the full extent, and at this point you see Iskander as he comes walking back in, and you see in one hand he has what looks like a very shiny metallic blade. And then the other hand, you see what looks to be like this large wooden stake. He hands them Jackephine. You're all going to need these sort of weapons.
Is that a silver knife?
There's a
And a
war.
stake?
There's a war going on currently in Adre that's been going on. Depending on which one you come into contact with, you're going to need one of these, possibly. This is what we have. We know that there's further mechanisms and devices currently made in Adre that can help you, but we do not have access to them. And yes, this is a silver blade, and it is a wooden stake. There are bloodsuckers and what we call fanged ones there that are called changes. We know that they change into these bestial forms under control, under some sort of Lycan 3, or many just go by the name of Lycan. We know that the bloodsuckers are known as what many call vampires. We know that there's a domain there in this fog city.
Do I know like about vampires to know that they're undead?
Yes, you would know that they are undead.
Well,
They know
good
that
thing
they're
in my
undead.
backstory, my guy knows Vlad.
This
So I know vampires exist.
My face is good for undead.
Man, this is what our campaign could have been: vampires and werewolves.
This whole time.
Damn it.
Only if we didn't get spooked by John getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
Only.
John runs something.
There's
Disruption is good for them.
there's a small concern though. You say that he's located at this fog city. That's Penau. That's where Durda Hurt is from.
We have heard of that.
I will tell you that that city has become fogged over the last 15 or so years, once the war has started between these two groups. The means and the leaders of the groups I do not know. The only thing I do know is that the Lycans that fight against them supposedly are seeking to change the land. Most of it has been changed, many of the villages torn and war fought over. The land is in shambles in many parts other than parts of Penau and the most southern eastern part of Adre. That's where many of the vampires seek hold, and we notice that their numbers are growing. Over the last 10 years, we knew there was a few. Then it became many in Penau. They changed, though. Many are under the appearance of just normal humans. Hard to tell. Take this stake. It can incapacitate them and do some things if you don't have any other means in doing so.
Can't we just like set them on fire? Does that work? Does holy water work?
Holy water could work. There's been rumors of it. Running water we know works. We know that using mirrors in front of them or having some sort of device to detect them also helps. They're very smart. We don't know how long they've been around, but they know of their own existence, and they know that many, once they find out about them, don't come back to their towns or villages.
Vampire? Yeah, it happened. Yeah. Is it a poison? Is lichen and vampires count as poisons?
I think it might be.
Or are they diseases?
What's the question?
If
This is not me mechanically saying this. Is me Magnus being afraid. It's muttering this to Orm, because he's the only one I trust with intelligence that's with us in our.
you don't have
How
enough.
much do I know of them?
I heard he hit a ley line. I don't trust him for shit.
Not much. None of you guys really know anything other than maybe all of you that have studied at school, which is most of you,
Yeah.
have at least kind of maybe heard stories within books. But aside from that, nothing too much.
How much do I know of?
Do you?
Yeah, my only contact with vampires is at Dampere, so that doesn't really count.
Being a grape.
You can walk up a wall.
You would know a little bit. You would know that a solid way to kill them is.
No, I mean like a cause or something like this. Like
Feel
like,
them.
Would a poison actually cause?
Oh yeah.
that?
60 feet divine sense.
Like
I mean, I'm already working on.
like would that cause
Wait.
a state of undead? I'm just. Like, would I know that word?
Could a poison cause someone not to die and become undead? Is that your question?
Yes.
Are you acting? Are you asking?
I would
if
say
it's like a
no,
poison
to
that
your-
turns
No, I'm
the
asking
target
if-
into something.
Like causes of undead. Like would I know like general like I guess rules? I guess.
What kind of cleric are you again?
Grave.
Yeah, he'd totally know. That's like their main thing. Is-
We don't
But
get,
you
like,
wouldn't necessarily know. I would say it's poison. You would know, okay, associated with vampires, you would know that anybody that is associated with vampires that have to do with undead become being turned. It's not necessarily a poison, it's being bit. And some are transformed entirely,
So
and some
like a
aren't.
curse, and it,
So you're saying there's
Yes.
like, so you're saying there's like vampires and ghouls.
Some
Kinda.
are turned completely, and some aren't. That's all I'm going to say. You don't have full understanding.
look at Magnus and say, yeah, you could become a vampire. If
Interpret
not,
it how you may.
It is not really a poison, it's more of a curse type thing.
I would say with your understanding,
So
you would know that you
like,
may
is it
even be able to
possible
remove a curse from it, possibly. Even from, you would even know that possibly from the lichen as well, maybe. That you could.
Because I know
Great
lichens. I
restoration.
know lichens. Like it just happens. Like there's no ritual.
I would say it's more
From
of a
what
curse.
I know about lichen from
that would
Great
just be.
restoration can remove curses.
But I would say it would be more of like just the remove curse.
Can you like unwillingly turn somebody into a vampire?
Yes,
Indeed.
100%.
Alright, real quick.
You can only turn people into a lot of things.
I came across this in my studies. Have you guys ever heard of a lycanthrope?
No. What are they doing over there?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Sorry, what?
It's- look at this.
Iskander kind of chuckles.
No, I've never heard of the.
Funny shit.
Never
I've
heard
seen
of
in
that.
my life.
Me either.
No.
Is
That's
that
just
an
a
actual
dude.
thing? Or...
No, that isn't. I am on 5e tools.
Yeah.
There is a beast called a lycanthrope.
Yeah.
And it's pickle.
Oh,
Oh, it's because there's a D&D module that's Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah.
There's a Rick and Morty D&D mod.
I'm like, wait a minute. I gotta think context. Oh, that's great.
What?
Well, now we
I
need
thought
to
you were
do.
looking at like a meme. No. That has an actual thing. That's an actual thing.
There is a group of people discussing the logistics
Iskander just
of,
looks at you.
of vampires.
Never heard of a thing.
Vampires and werewolves, and Funtus is over there doodling of
Yeah, pickle.
No, he has like a pamphlet because he has the divine sense. It's like, which one does he feel? He's like, it's like a skeleton and this one's a vampire. But he's like, as a pickle, he's like, the fuck is this thing over here? Like,
So anyway,
it looks like a children's book.
knowing this,
Oh god.
he kind of looks back and Jackephine kind of takes a step back. Are you sure you all still want to go?
Yeah. No, that didn't
I'm
hinder us at all. It might better prepare us.
You know where we could maybe get any blood antidotes?
No. I know that you don't want to be bit by anything.
I have a question out.
Well, that's a typical rule for most places, not to be bit, but
Yeah, but they-
I kind of want to become a werewolf.
For sure.
Dwarves become werewolves.
Probably. Yeah.
Would it be like a stout beastman? That might be an option.
dwarves out of the table, yeah,
Fucking-
they can.
Did we
because
ever
we're
learn
wolves.
the name
But
of,
he doesn't like the
Pug's
know that.
brother?
It's not death,
or did he only ever refer to him as my brother?
unless they're undead werewolves.
I think
then
we
I know.
recently encountered somebody who was talking.
Does it ring any bells for you? Pug's brother's name? I have to check my notes.
Liam.
Liam?
That was recent.
Yeah, you guys
We were told by
know.
somebody, but I don't remember who.
You guys know when we were talking about the Orwood sisters that the only other one was Liam,
Yeah,
and that's his brother.
Yeah, it was Percy. 'Cause he only told us he knew of 3 artificers, and it was
Lapidary.
Pug, Lapidary is what it
Yeah.
was.
And he
It was
knew,
Pug, his brother,
And
and the
the
sister.
sister.
we knew
And
them,
even
we
then-
knew the sisters because of the last.
The sisters aren't even one. They're pretty good, but they're not.
Right, they're like new.
Yeah, that's why I said Lapidary. I was using the general term.
Yeah.
Okay. They're like grad
Okay.
students. They're like actual fucking.
So are you ready to train?
Fucking. Unfortunately, yeah. I would have loved to have taken time to prepare better. You happen to have a forge with all this business you make in here?
We have a small one.
I just need something hot enough to make a couple rings.
Oh, we can easily
and
do
I would
that.
also like to make.
I also need a lot of. Well, yeah,
You see, there's a small gnome that kind of comes walking out, and he's got some blacksmith attire on, and
Maybe some sulfur.
He just looks at you.
Yeah.
You need rings?
Yeah. I have some gold.
Bodge is over there. Take it.
Okay. Cool.
And you see it's very small, but it'll do at least small things. It's used mostly for repairing as you look at it.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Then fuck it. I'm gonna.
Do they have silver?
I don't have any silver. Anyone
They do have
pieces?
silver.
They do. I'll trade you some gold for some silver.
They look at you. All right.
How much silver would giving you 4 gallons of beer give me?
That's not quite valuable here. We have a mission.
Everybody.
Jackephine walks forward.
It's just like
I'll give you each a bar for free.
Bar of silver.
Bar silver.
That'll be more.
Take
than
what you need.
Thanks.
You need more,
How
then
much-
we
how
can
much
talk
is a-
about
is it-
trade.
How much is a bar of silver?
A bit.
We'll immediately throw
Yeah, an ingot.
a full fucking ingot into. I assume they have a crucible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start fucking melting that down. Hopefully it won't take too terribly long. And I will make 4. Do we have anyone else? 4? Do I only need 4?
Wait.
Here.
I wanted to ask if I could try something different.
What are you making?
I'm making 4 fucking silver rings
For what?
for you to wear, so that if you shake somebody's hand, if they burn.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, I'll take a ring.
I actually.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask
actually,
if
I only
could
need
melt
3.
my
I have a silver.
And some of that, could you make like an arrowhead?
like flare
Like
my
a-
blade,
I need to take a little.
Just make a pike, just a stick.
my battle axe blade. Could I just like pour
Silver's
into my battle axe
soft.
blade?
Yeah, you're describing. There's an actual thing called silvering a weapon.
Yeah.
I know in most shit, most creatures who are susceptible to silver are also susceptible to magical damage. Your axe is magical, unless he's rolling it as that. It has
That
to
and
be
also
silver.
most of your fucking damage is radiant too.
That also helps.
Where they're not dead.
I'll tell you, you don't know, but
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
if it's silver or magical, like it's one or the other. You know, it's like they both kind of. It's one or the other. Like if you have a magical weapon, you can assume
Yeah.
it'll probably work. It doesn't. You know, you can just assume these guys use silver weapons. They maybe don't have the means or the money to have magical weapons. They
Silver's
use
the
it.
only mundane way
Right.
to hurt
Correct.
undead.
There you go.
I got you.
These
Yeah.
undead.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna make only 3 rings. And then I'm gonna actually make.
Yeah, because he doesn't need it.
They're probably gonna be
He has
like
divine sense.
maybe dime.
I also have Sith Undead.
They're gonna be wafers, which I am actually going to shape into kind of squares. I'm gonna need 10 plus 8, 18 wafers, which I'm gonna then shape, and I'm gonna replace my finger pads
Okay.
and my knuckles.
All right. So you'll have just enough to make the 3 with that.
Yeah.
Give me athletics check just to see how fast you can do it.
Okay, while he's doing that, how much?
Let it
I need to
check.
know how much gold worth is an ingot.
Not a sleight of hand.
I'd say it's almost 1-to-1. It's probably like 6 to 10. So it's probably like 60 silver to or 60. Yeah,
Rash.
it'd probably be 1 gold bar would get you almost 2 silver bars.
That's fucking trash. It's 3.
And
Almost.
how many gold pieces a bar worth?
I'd say a gold bar probably weighs like what 5 to 8 pounds.
Yeah.
So we'll say probably 50 gold.
Would I and my proficiency?
Just offhand, don't quote me. I can look it up maybe when we're not playing.
That's ballparked it up.
But I'm gonna
It is.
ballpark it around that a gold bar, let's say for ease, is around 50 to maybe 100 gold, but let's say 50.
And this isn't even gold, it's silver.
Or right, so it would be about 50 silver.
Ah.
So let's just keep it 50
Yeah.
to 50.
And then would I add my proficiency because I am proficient in smithing tools?
Yeah, 100%.
Then 7.
Okay, so it takes you almost 45 minutes, and then you mess up a little bit, but you craft it, and it works fine. You craft the rings, you make your little attachment for your knuckles or fingers or whatever, your appendages.
I got shiny new finger pads.
Well,
And-
do you
I
have
mean,
that for
since
kid?
I've got a
No.
free silver ingot, I'll
Can't
go ahead
leave it
and
in your list.
Can I forge a dagger?
Can you?
I just became proficient in Smith's tools.
Oh yeah. You did.
Then yeah. So while you're doing it, give me an athletics check as well.
It'd be his strength if he's using tools and he's proficient. It'd be his strength plus his proficiency bonus.
Yeah, it's what he just rolled.
He's plus 8.
Pretty good.
15.
Oh yeah. So you get it done in about 30 minutes. Just crafting. What are you wanting to craft?
Just a silver.
Silver dagger.
Just in case if I.
One of your first ones. It's not
Does
amazing.
anybody have any gems on them?
It's shaped decently, and in about 25 minutes you can get it shaped and handled and hardened, and then you get the handle attached and seems to be functional.
We're gonna use that.
You notice as you have it, though, it's a little softer than your axe,
We'll break the mirror.
and
after
it's
we
definitely not the hardest metal, but it'll be functional.
For emergency purposes.
Yep. All right, so what else are you guys doing?
Silver mirror worth 1,000 gold.
I think I'm ready to train.
He starts motioning you over, and Iskander takes you over while the rest of you start
His 9 gems.
kind of
silver.
messing with the rest of you. You are foraging, and are you done?
Yeah. Once I have the fucking finger pads, my knuckles, and the 3 rings.
I'm gonna need you to make a disc out of this with sockets for your gems and this pearl. Right now.
What?
It doesn't need to look good.
You walk
It doesn't need
over
to
to
look good.
Iskander.
Do it.
Say it again.
All right,
You need
so
to make a disc out of this my silver ingot right here.
during this flight,
And just
you're going to
shove
need
these
dexterity, constitution, and some wits.
This guy's doing something.
When you're
Do
flying,
this first.
you're going to need to make sure your body is angled during the first fly. You're going to drop down straight. We're going to fly about a mile down almost. It's going to build the power within our suits. As we do that, you have to be able to handle any tight turns, dodging any rocks or any formations that we might not be able to see within the clouds. Doing that is going to jostle any new flyer. That's where the con's going to come in. Any fortitude that you have, that's going to be needed. Your lungs, your brain, everything inside is going to make you want to turn it out, throw up, and it's going to make you almost spin if you can't handle it. You do that, you're going to lose control, and you're going to take yourself down. Then you put everyone at risk. We got an errant flyer. When we're nice and tight, you could take out someone right next to you. So, we're going to train. He starts strapping you up to the biggest one they have. You can handle this one, the rest a little bit easier. He goes and he starts making you walk outside of the cave, the rest of you, as you guys start gathering the rest of your things. Is there anything you guys want to do before you guys start putting on your gear? No?
Yeah, we'll do
Put
that.
that on.
All right, so you are accompanied by a couple other smaller, younger individuals. You notice that there's a couple halflings and a gnome that come up and help you strap these large kind of pieces of equipment. They go up to about the back of your neck, and it's almost like a star formation. Imagine like a thick turtle shell in a way, and it's kind of cumbersome. But as you walk with it a little bit, it's evenly balanced, and as you lean forward, it's not too much. It's about 30 pounds, and you notice that it starts attaching to your wrists and down to your knees. And as you walk out, you guys all group up, and Jackephine and Iskander are sitting there. All right. Watch Iskander very closely. What he's going to do will take about 10 to 15 seconds. He's going to repeat it twice for you, and then you all will try. We'll attach you to this rope, and we'll make sure you'll be safe. You need to perfect the breathing technique at minimum. That will make sure you're not going to pass out, and that way you're not going to get too dizzy upon flying and gaining the power and the flight that you need to gain within this suit. Now, you see Iskander walk to the side. He has similar attire on than you, and he puts the suit on and he puts his arms out, and you see these wings almost just with this sinew go taut, like you've seen before. But this one, it's almost like steel, as you see it infused very heavy. You wait a moment, and he just leans forward, and then he pushes off with his toes. As he does so, you see him not even move. He tucks his head in, and he just goes perfectly down. You see him go maybe 100 feet very quickly, not even moving, tucks his arms in, gaining full speed, about halfway in. As he does so, he keeps going, and then as he does, you see on the back of his wingsuit this light, like almost implode on the inside, lighting up. And as you see it, he puts out his arms, he gusts up, he torques to the left as he goes to turn, and as he does so, you hear almost this like yell. Jackephine looks, that's him in his breathing technique, expulsing the air out and then compressing back in his lungs. He's showboating for you all, but you don't have to yell. Just make sure when you are going down, you are breathing very quickly, almost like a compressing your abdomens and your lungs constantly. You hold your breath for too long, or you alleviate the air for too long and do not refill them, they could just collapse. You will not have to worry about this. So your comrades, if you see them starting to pass out, you need to look out for that. If you see one coming towards you, take them down. Do not let them crash into the rest of you due to the formations that you'll be flying in. Someone can knock the rest and all of you out. And once you enter a route, there's no leaving it. Once you begin your flight, you don't just land. You make it to your destination. The amount of power gained within the suit isn't easily regained. You must fly a massive amount of distance to be able to fly the distance you are wishing to travel. There cannot be any stops along your journey. For you to make it all the way to Adre, even to the major city of even Panau, that needs to be a one-shot trip. If you stop, you're dead in the water. Even if you muster enough power to maybe make it to Adre, maybe, it's a suicide trip. You all won't make it. Understand that the power that is generated in these, and you see Iskander flying back around and kind of torquing up, and you see now with the suit having power, it is going upwards, and it seems to almost be flying against gravity. You notice that with the power of this, he gains control, and you see this almost white air current kind of flowing around him as he sees to kind of take it. You see Jackephine, that's him riding the current. Once you find one of those, that's how you can get max speed out of these. He's going to be able to bring that thing up to almost 100 miles an hour in a few seconds, and then be able to stop it. You see him now in a few seconds turn back around and start coming back towards you. And as he does so, you see the back wings almost like branch out. Go ahead.
He's established he's found an air current. I would like to switch to thermal to see if there is a difference in temperature within.
Yeah, there is. You switch and you see as he's riding around him, you see about 10 feet behind him, and then it kind of dissipates a little bit, and about 20 feet in front of him, and then it slowly dissipates. There's this warm airflow that seems to be almost like right beneath him that he's riding, and then beneath it you see void, depicting most likely cold. And you see it just kind of ride for a moment. You're not quite sure if it's him or the suit emanating, or if it's an actual air current, but you see something that's kind of guiding him, that he's literally like riding, almost like a surfboard.
So this is an infrared. So you basically have he's flying like here, and you have like a red thing
kind of gliding
like
with
he's
him.
surfing on it a little bit.
Almost.
Warm air would be less dense, and so it's easier to cut through.
Yep.
And he would be sandwiched between colder, denser air.
And it seems that he's almost found that seam and is just riding right through that.
Man, I'm great. I'm genius.
So you see him now coming through him, and as Jackephine and you all kind of step back, you see that this landing area, he goes and you see right at the end this suit. He kind of leans back and he kind of tucks in his abdomen, and as he does so, it kind of puts open the wings, and then he curls in, and in a way the suit forms up into this like defensive ball, almost like an exoskeleton. And you see him just roll once, twice, and then a third time, almost like a tumble, roll out of it and stand up and put his arms out. And you see no scratches or anything on him. And you see him go from about 100 or so miles an hour down to 0, all within about a 15-foot ending and stopping point. He kind of lands, and you see the dust and the wind kind of swirl past him. See Jackephine and Iskander as he turns. How was that? Jackephine just smiles. That was good. If
I'm holding like a sign up. It has like 7 on it. 7.3. He was like,
he kind of laughs. He's like, if you can do half that, then you'll make it there. Now, who's first?
I'll go.
Oh yeah.
All right. You step
I've
up.
already done this once ish.
All right, so you go forward. Iskander walks up. He's like, all right, just go about 10, 20 feet. Tuck your arms. Make sure you're breathing quickly and pressurizing your lungs as you go. Then when you make the turn, it's a strong current. Make sure you don't falter. And if you can ride that, you're home free until the end. Just the landing. That's the hardest part. You make it the farthest way, the landing, when you go to tuck. Gotta be agile and light on your feet. Don't land too steep. Don't land too flat. You'll have too much speed. About a 25, 35 degree angle should be about right. Now, are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. And he just pushes you off. You literally just start falling for a moment. You kind of gather yourself, and then you instinctively tuck your arms after the first 20 feet. Give me a dexterity check. Yep. You feel the wind. Yep, dexterity check. As you feel the wind now start pulsating.
could it be acrobatics?
Oh my god.
No, not for the first part.
For your body.
Yeah, it's dex. It's a dex check.
6.
6. So almost in a frantic motion, as you're pulling in your arms, the sinew's kind of catching. You pull them in, but you notice you're nowhere near as tight as Iskander was. You're not going quite as fast. You start going. You make it about 80 feet. As you do so, you're picking up. You hit about maybe 70, 80 miles an hour. You notice your compression as you're starting to hit this density within these clouds starts almost taking your breath away. You're give me a constitution check as you're kind of pressurizing, making sure, trying not to pass out, controlling your breathing. 14, easily. You control it. As you gust down, you notice that this is the tail end. This is where Iskander tells you need to put out your arms, tuck, prep the tautness of the sinew, and ride whatever current you can find. As you get to the end, you feel this slight cold to warmth change, kind of signaling this is when you need to change into elongating your arms. As you do so, give me a strength check as you feel this huge gust of wind just kind of go taut within as you go flying. 13. You easily kind of ride it for a second, and then you falter, feeling as if I maybe am going off track. But then you feel the strength kind of catch. All the sinew within your arms and your legs finally go taut properly. You ride this for a moment, catching this heat that you feel, and you ride this current. You kind of tuck it back in, not quite as tightly as Iskander did, but you start turning it back around. You have to gain a little bit of altitude as you are a little bit low. As you do so, you realize you have about 100, maybe 80 feet, and it's coming in pretty quick. You're going to need to be able to land. You need to be able to gauge where you're going to be able to land. Give me an intelligence check.
13.
13. You look in, you think you're at the right altitude. You kind of gauge it, you're thinking 30, 40 degrees in that area, You start coming down, you realize you're about 5, 10 feet coming into the ground. You realize you're going way too fast than you thought you might need to. You go to tuck, give me an acrobatics check as you go to tuck and perform this landing. 4. You go to tuck, and as you do so, you immediately slam onto your back, kind of poof, and just kind of like a skipping stone, just poof, poof, poof. You stay curled, and you feel the exoskeleton kind of, shielding you for the first couple, and then it just throws you taut. The momentum and the speed just kind of shambling you through. You take 4 points of damage, but you realize that as you look at your suit, some of the sinew, as it looks, isn't damaged, but it's going to take a little while to kind of unweave some of the sinew. You immediately see Iskander and Jackephine come running over to you. Oh, that was pretty good, though. You made it.
Oh, not bad. It's kind of fun.
So, you've done it all now. That was beginning to end. You've seen it all. That's what you have to do. You see the wave currents? No, they're going to be strong. You hit a deep decline or incline, you got to be ready to do the breathing techniques. If you're ready to land, you're not going to die unless you go too steep, right? Now, the rest of you, you've seen it. Who all thinks they can do better than this? Iskander will lead the group, but we need someone to be able to helm the other part of the formation.
Sure. Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, we'll put you next. Now,
Oh, I want
you and you. Oh, we're all going at once. That was his trial run. All three of you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Fuck. All right.
Guidance. Well, you wanted to be part of the front runner. You're going to have to learn to fly next to these two, so what better than just throwing you in? Now space out about 3 to 4 feet apart.
I assumed we were gonna go individual and then do it, but okay. All right.
Oh, no.
Okay. Okay.
Do I go after? Do I?
Oh, we're all going
no, let me
at
rephrase.
once.
I know that. I mean, because
Is he
we're in
nervous?
formation.
Is he nervous?
Are we going like a V? So is he jumping first and then we follow like a little bit after?
Yes,
Or
you're
is
all
that-
going to be slightly
Yeah, that's what I-
about
yeah, that's what I-
maybe a half second behind him.
Okay.
We'll touch you. We're going to push you. You'll go when we tell you. Now, as you looked, understand these checks will be against your athletics, your dexterity, and your will. Now, are you ready? You hear Jackephine kind of eagerly get excited seeing someone successfully fly for their first time.
Like, well, why not I die?
All right, well, I like the attitude.
Sure.
Orem, is
Did you
it
say the
right?
Vision saw the thing?
I would. Yes. At this point, yes. I didn't before.
That one.
You turn it on.
What happened to Girth's extra goggles?
Those aren't e-goggles. Girth got my old hand goggles.
Right.
Girth-
Ready?
No, fucking knows. Who knows what happened? I got
This Iskander just kind of starts chuckling. Don't run into each other. I don't feel like jumping down trying to rescue 3 bodies. Okay.
I'm trying.
As you do so. All right. Any questions?
My character is just gonna sit here with some candy and just watch.
You get a little bit of bruising, but not too bad. You're like, whew, glad I got that
4
done.
points, it's fine.
You wait about 3 seconds, and then you just feel on your back just a slight push, and you weren't ready. You're just like, whoop! You go. About a half a second to a full second go, and then you see Iskander just, whew, you guys already puckering, realizing that this is happening. You guys immediately start soaring down. Give me dexterity checks as you guys start to pull in your arms and gather your suits in.
Nice. 20 total.
20. So you guys see in the beginning,
6.
Orem is leading graciously.
17.
Life as well. To the right, you
I'm
see,
dead.
No.
but to your left, you see Magnus, the sinew, flailing about. His arms not only are not at his side, but they're almost cocked backwards. It doesn't seem like he got the memo that his hands need to be at his side, and now they're starting to gain tautness. He's slowing down. You immediately just see him, almost like a parachute effect, just fly back, losing speed as you
Can I
guys
use
start
I'm gonna
going.
use my psionic leap
Yeah?
to like recover.
Okay, so you give me another dexterity check as you kind of try and recover. You guys start gaining speed with
14,
both of
yeah.
those. Yes, you recover. You're about 50 feet behind, though, as now you see them about 90, almost 100 miles an hour, gaining in a straight
Can I use
decline.
my psionic leap to gain speed?
So you want to almost like just pivot, vault, and midair just jump. Okay, you do so, and you start gaining speed. You do so twice. And trying to do that, give me an intelligence check, as now you have almost altered your speed and direction to a point where you're not quite sure how to.
11.
You see them starting to hit a bottom, and you see Orem with his heat vision possibly starting to make a change, and you anticipate that might be where the heat, and the cold influx is. and then you jump close, and it's almost like right there as you meet right back up with them. Give me a dexterity saving throw to see if you can just react fast enough to the quick adjustment of what you're about to hit.
18.
Yeah, nice. So you quickly just jolt back up. You guys feel the gust of air behind as now this warmth in your heat vision you see, and you go to adjust. As you do so, you feel the compression start building within your lungs. You feel nothing. You two, though, as you're going down, you feel you're breathing. You're focusing on the technique. Give me constitution checks.
Can I, knowing that I don't have to worry about that problem, can I give like an audio shout like the other guy did as almost like a cue?
19.
You wouldn't really know for this being
Yeah,
your
you
first
wouldn't feel
time. You wouldn't understand what it would be.
Okay.
19,
20.
you're good. Both of you, you better. You guys easily gaining back with your sinew and everything. Easily take this, and you feel the like as you come around and you gust back up, you feel the warmth. Both of you now right behind Orm. Your thermal visions and everything guiding right through you both go as you are right behind, trying to split into this cold to heat lapse. As you do so, you feel the gust kick in. Give me a strength check. As you feel the large just gust of wind kick right underneath your
6
wings.
again.
6,
12.
12. You're good.
22.
22. So both of you easily. You, though, as you notice this large lurch in strength and gust, you feel it as it pivots and pole vaults you up. You see Magnus. It just kind of goes right through. His arms weren't able to. And you feel in the back of your right shoulder, just almost like this dislocation in your shoulder from the large strength and the wind of this gust. As it does so, you're able to barely bring it back, stagnating maybe 10 feet behind, but your shoulder is in fucking pain. It's totally dislocated, and as you kind of feel it just go taut, you now kind of just soar down and to the right the entire time. Luckily enough, though, as you see everybody's kind of gusting back, it's the way you need to turn. So as you're kind of chicken winging it down, you kind of tilt into it. You use part of your suit even though you start massively slowing down. Now the problem is, do you have enough speed to make it back towards the landing? Give me a dexterity check to see if you can reposition your suit to give yourself some sort of 8. That's not. You try and do so, and with your arm, you're unable to get your left wing. You two, though, able to kind of gust through easily at this speed, have left him completely in the dust. You guys turn, you just see him lost within some of the cloud and mist, and you guys see the impending ground now coming about 50 to 60 feet away. You guys prepare yourselves and give me an acrobatic check. So you guys are now coming in. 19, easy. You come in, leading the group, just tuck, roll, you as well. Right behind them, roll up into a ball, you and then land and kind of skid for about 5-10 feet and then stop, and you see the as both of you land. The wind just as the gust of dirt and everything just fly by. You wait a moment, and then you see Iskander go running towards the edge. You see him kind of lacing on what looks to be a smaller piece of gear, taking off his larger one now, going after what you see now Magnus about 100 feet, getting ready to slowly descend down. As you see the speed and whatever I'd say propulsion you had has now halted part of your suit. You see in the back as his speed kind of descends and misusing the suit, you see the blue light in the back flicker, and you hear the slight hum dissipate. You feel free fall about 50-60 feet away.
Then I'm just gonna fly.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right, so then you kind of just wait a minute and you go, and as you see Iskander run, you just and just kind of coast and make your way kind of slow, and you see Iskander just kind of sitting there smiling. I guess that's one way to do it. So, what was the problem?
Pop my shoulder back in.
You come back in and land.
I'm thinking dwarves were not meant to fly.
Give me a medicine check.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm proficient in that.
Yeah.
Guidance. Just in case.
What? Free plastic bottle?
27.
27. He walks over and very easily, you don't even feel it. It just, you hear it. You don't even feel it. You just hear it very quickly, and then pain immediately alleviated. You wait a moment. Jackephine walks forward.
You could have recovered if it didn't dislocate my shoulder.
Now, for the rest of you that would like to train, I suggest you all do that at least a couple more times. Get used to at least
You
doing.
said the other ones that these are like training ones, because the real ones we're gonna use are easier to use than these ones.
These might be the ones we use.
No, these are more or less for training purposes, but they are pretty close. This is, the real things are just a little bit nicer made, but if you can use these, you should be able to use the larger ones. Though I will tell you, the speed is faster. The larger. That 100 miles an hour and what you thought was a strength of speed, imagine that doubled. That compression within your lungs that you felt on your descent almost tripled. As you feel your... can't explain it. Until you have done it, you won't know. But I will tell you, you must be prepared, because if you're not, it will not end well. So, he starts to walk away. Iskander will stay, make sure that you all are safe. Train for as long as you must, so as long as you feel the need to. I've trained you as much as I can, and as much as I want to for today. That is my gift to you for helping us. I have plans that I must attend to for the cave that you have emptied out for me. I want to be in it by nightfall. As you guys look around, it's about a little after midday. You guys know that you have maybe 7 to 10 hours before you guys are probably going to be done with today. So depending on how you want to deal with that, you know that the meeting is tomorrow night. So you have about 35-ish hours.
Okay. So Jackephine walked
Yeah,
away.
but don't we have a time limit on like when we can leave because of weather?
24 hours though. For the charm. The weather is within 4 hours. That all took about an hour. The weather, you have to leave within 3 hours from now before they said that the weather will be unpredictable.
So I say let's give one more run. And just fucking go.
So you kind of got pushed off a cliff before I mentioned it, but the heat vision goggles might help a little bit. One thing to keep in consideration is that kind of a bubble of heat before you in this path. And I'm thinking that it might be possible for you to make your own bubble with your breath. So if you ever get fucked up, it'd be something to consider. You might be able to
Wait a minute.
force a little bit of hot
How long does
air
it
out.
take to cast a spell Bless? Does Bless work on checks?
Saving throws, and it's only one.
I'm pretty sure Blast is.
I just looked it up.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's true.
I was.
I also
wondering if I
don't
could
have
use it.
prepared. So
Room. Because it was checks. Because if we gave him my goggles, he could warn me about the air change, and then bless me so it doesn't break my arm.
So how many hours do you want to divulge to training?
I have the same goggles as you.
He doesn't.
I think at least another hour.
Okay, that's about 2 runs per.
Yes.
so we have the 3 heat goggles and the 1 non-heat goggle. I'm gonna take that non-heat goggle because that increases my range.
While you guys are doing this,
Can you take that
Alright,
from Girth?
I was getting ready to say, Girth
Oh,
walks
where
up
is it?
and he says, I think I'm just going to sit this one out. Stay here and I'll be back when you guys come back. That's the plan, right? You're going to come back?
Yeah,
We
that's the
plan to. Don't know
fucking
what
goal.
when we get there, but
plan, dog.
I'm going to be here.
You sure?
Plan.
If you're gonna be here, could I ask a favor? This Jackephine guy, he has plans in his cave. I don't know if he'll be
cool with you hanging out. But in these peaks, there's conflux, black material, very magical, yada yada yada. If he's planning on expanding his operation in any of these caves, he might be excavating. If he happens to have any, let him know. See him again before we leave, but let him know that I would be interested in some.
See what I can do. All right.
You mind if I took while we're out in the
What are you gonna give me?
piercing hook? It's like
Yeah, what does it?
natural grappling hook that can
So the
phase through
the
materials.
goggles of night are only 60 feet.
But you already have dark vision. It asks you, but
That's it.
No,
Yeah.
That's really
Wait, then that means it would do that. Did mine do that for my dark vision?
the gog.
You have 250.
Yeah, you have 250, which is
Like
better
what?
than yours.
What do you want? You want 500?
Add 250 and it takes it.
No,
What?
no, because normal does bats. That's.
Yeah, that do 120.
I
Like
mean,
if
I'm
you
not wearing it for the dark vision. I already have good dark vision.
I didn't know that.
'Cause I'd have more dark vision if I wore those, but I'd lose the thermal and the other. But still, it's just
Yeah, it's fine.
neat.
what do you have with those?
250.
This is 180 if yours.
Did he do that?
Yeah.
Why?
While wearing the dark vision, you have dark vision up to a range of 60. If you already have dark vision, ring goggles increases it by a rate of,
Oh, why?
60.
Yeah, wild.
Didn't know.
I did not. I didn't have dark vision before.
All right, so you see Girth. He kind of walks away. What are you guys doing?
Training thing, right?
You're gonna train for another hour.
All right, so you train for another hour. So you have about 2 hours before the storm, or before you need to leave to miss the
And
storm.
then it's immediately leave.
and I would rather not leave within the last hour.
All right, so you guys gather your things and you guys prep. You get with Iskander and meet with Jackephine. They prep with you, and you guys are given each your own actual flying suit. And you see that these are very well constructed, of a very nice heavy wood and metal, steel reinforced, and the sinew is made as it's described as the silk of the steel spider that is from your wood. And as it's kind of shown, you can see it's almost so thin and very sharp that it almost cuts. And when brought together, it is very strong. They tell you how expensive these are and to please bring them back, and that if you can't, to destroy them. These are not to be left, and we are willing to pass with at least these 4 in return. 30 pounds. Imagine a cross on your back that goes up to the back of your neck almost, and to the back of your knees. It is strapped. It straps to your wrists, and it's like a backpack. Like imagine like a circular backpack.
Could it fit in the bag of holding? You can hold up to 500 pounds.
I would
That's why
say-
asked you, but
I would say you could fit
it.
2. I would say you could fit 2 in a bag of holding.
And these aren't
60
something I
pounds?
just walk around with.
Not the weight, just the size of them.
Besides.
Well, no, you can hold up to 500 pounds. Doesn't matter the size of it. So long as it
The bag
It
of
does.
The bag of holding has the size.
Yeah, it does.
It has. It
And,
absolutely has
and
the
it's
size.
got to be able to
I
get
think it's
through
like
it
4 square
too.
feet or something.
Yeah,
You know.
it's like a shed.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a bag, so it's got to be able to fit into the bag.
Well, yeah, that's why I was asking if it could actually fit into the bag.
Well, it can. It's like imagine like a circular shell, like a turtle shell of a shield, kind of, and then it has like appendages out of it that attach to like the back of your neck, your arms, the back of your knees, and stuff. So it's kind of like got things in it that gear out that attach to you. So, you guys have 4. And as they are given to you, you see that they're almost like embraced in like this golden and blue.
Certainly can. I have shift weave, which lets me like absorb essentially like clothings and garments and shit into this magical suit that I can swap between. Can I put this in that?
If you could you get it back out?
Yeah. I can swap outfits. Like right now, I'm wearing a
No,
Gildore's robe?
I mean, like, can you get back out of the magic and to give it back to him?
I don't see why not. I haven't tried, but
So you want to
At the
put
same time, they also told us it could be destroyed, and we just tell them that.
the weave into it.
I have a magical
Right,
suit
right.
of clothes
Mm-hmm.
that I have essentially it imprints on other shit, and so I have my student uniform, and then I have Gildore's robe. So I'm wondering if I can just make I think it's 5 different like outfits or something, and I'm just wondering if I can use one of my slots for this thing.
No. This is like
It's
an
equipment.
yeah. This is like an actual item.
Okay.
Like you guys won't be able to.
Okay.
Like I said, you guys will probably be able to keep 2, but 2 will need to be lugged around or carried or something. So
We can at least somewhat guarantee to.
right.
Somewhat.
So now you guys take a few moments, you prepare. Iskander's ready. You guys start making your preparations, and you guys start making an ascend to where you guys have just cleared out the ice trolls. You guys go about 20 feet above that, and you see Jackephine as he slowly is following you, and then he yells up as you start feeling the cold hit you all once again. Notice that the wind in these peaks is immense. As you guys get towards the top of this peak, you see Iskander kind of smiling. We haven't been able to fly from this high up in the peaks. Kind of excited with the amount of speed we're gonna get. It kind of gets me, and he kind of just shakes a little bit. You notice his preparation is he's wearing nothing. He has basically just some underwear on for the most part, some leather scraps around his midsection, and for the most part is very ready and aerodynamic. He's very tanned. It's red in some parts, but it's very weathered and leathered. You can tell that it's like wind burnt, but it has resisted it for so long that the chappedness is just kind of like been
it's
healed
like
over.
Figures like black.
No, it seems as if they maybe have healers or ways of dealing with some of these things.
These are
And
like you don't want to naked up here and it's like freezing out.
well, and they're not really exposed for longer than at least 24 hours with their charms, so.
15 pounds.
15 pounds.
And never more than 15 pounds, yes.
Now, you see Jackephine. All right, guys, so, and he kind of starts yelling up, I wish you all luck, but, I do want you to try and find whoever you're looking for. And hopefully, they're safe as well. And if they're not, well, hopefully you do them justice. Iskander, lead them, and lead them wise and safely. Starts making his way back down the peak as you see now caravans of just gear being brought up this steep peak and people starting to form what looks like a little small valleyway upwards. You guys start cresting upwards to the highest peak that you can get to that Iskander says he feels is pretty safe. You wait a moment, and then he turns to you all. All right, this is the spot. We're gonna jump from here. Any questions? We're gonna fly for anywhere between 4 to 8 hours. Take a drink, replenish yourself, eat something maybe for a moment. I'll give you 2 minutes. Yes.
I'm gonna take out my scrolls. Or ink. Feather.
Yes.
Magical ink feather.
Magical scroll and ink.
Yes. I'm gonna write on this magical scroll. Summon.
You
I will attempt to.
You write for a moment. You then put the pen away. You see the paper fizzle away. Then after a moment, you see it form and come right in front of you. You wait a moment as it materializes. You catch it. Bag of holding. You see it's lined in a purple and a slight green, and it's in like a cross pattern. And as you hold on to it,
Do I have any idea, like,
nope.
if it's gonna disappear
You have no idea.
Oh yeah, you've been like
Yeah.
Gone for a while.
gone.
Yeah.
What is he wrote down so like whoop.
Oh yeah.
I
That's
got
the thing
this
you
cool
can do.
magical pen.
What a great
from my
reaction.
professors.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Life has been out of it.
And you have how many more?
19.
19.
I had 20. That was 519.
In this,
Wait, did he make a check and I zoned out?
no, he didn't.
Oh, that just worked.
Yes.
But we don't know the actual item.
We made a mundane fucking tarp in the end roll
A
performance.
check. Certain things you guys don't know the way the paper works.
No. Orem will step away from the group, on this peak, and he will hold his staff out in front of him on the ground. He'll kind of invoke a little bit of electricity running through it, and he will kind of look out at these air currents and this wind and this storm. He's gonna pray.
Okay.
He doesn't know to who. Just almost to the elements themselves, for guidance, help. He is, I wouldn't say out of his element. He realizes that he needs any chips he can get in his corner. And if he has to, let's say, devote, if he has to invoke others' power for his own sake, then it's something that he will do.
Okay.
And he will just let this air, close his eyes and just feel the air surround him, and he'll let the lightning cascade down from his staff into his arms and then back out. Just feel it for a moment or two, and we'll walk back to the group.
So you wait, and before you walk back, you feel the kind of pulse. Feel the wind, it kind of brushes upon you. You feel the lightning kind of surge through the ground. As you're waiting, asking any guidance, help, anything. You wait a moment. And you, while the rest of the group is waiting and you're just thinking Magnus thoughts, drinking,
It's Magnus thoughts.
you see this flowing blue gem that just kind of,
I should probably secure this now that it's.
well, as you're sitting there, you see it kind
As
of,
I'm drinking, I'm like, wait a minute.
you see it starting to like softly glow. And the faint female voice once again, you hear just faintly, I hear you. You wait a moment, then I hear it. You hear it speak,
You're who?
and then you see this like light kind of light up in the gem just enough with all the cloud breaking through. You see just enough of the sunlight under maybe 7:30 in the night, just enough of the sunset peek through to hit this gem. It bounces off and glints right back towards Orem.
Hey, Orem, you like talking to something right now? It's like this thing. I think it hears you.
You kind of say that and you turn just for a moment and you see this glint kind of bouncing right back in your eye. You wait a moment and you hear just softly again, I can help. The wind, the storm. I can help.
Okay, how?
Trust. Give to the one who will fly first.
Who's flying first? Is you flying first?
So that'd be me.
I'm gonna give you it. It's gonna float. Like you.
You just mage handed it and it kind of.
It's invisible. It's like floating.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so it's just kind of going over.
So it's just like.
You wait a moment, and the rest of you kind of see this happening. You see as it gets closer to you, it kind of rests, and then it just kind of drops, and you kind of catch it. Still small in your palm. You wait a few seconds. You hear just trust in me.
Been trusting in a friend of yours the whole time. What's the second one? Zuna, yeah?
As you say that, you feel this just large gust of wind hit at your back. Go now. You take a few moments and then you start taking a few steps to the edge. Iskander kind of sits up. It's time to go. All right.
I was going to tie my great axe and armor. I was going to tie them together, put them in the bag of holding.
Got you.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That holding that can just go. Just be gone.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. No,
And then
Let's put 2,000.
Let him do it. Let him do it. They're seeing you do this, and Magnus just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like.
I was like, I don't know what's going on anyway, so.
and I'm gonna take my back, anything that I can fit inside the bag. On me, I will keep my boots on. I just want the warm clothes.
Okay.
And I guess if I have like a belt, just have that dagger.
Dagger in the side.
And then, so I'm gonna put my backpack in the bag of holding,
Okay. Now,
and then tie the bag of holding to myself.
Make sure you keep track of the weight.
as
that
you
way-
guys are,
Well,
sorry.
I'm
Keep cutting him off.
Well, no, I meant like in the bag. I know it
Yeah,
is good.
he doesn't. He's
Oh.
not carrying around 500 worth of shit.
I know.
Yeah.
Let's
Go
see.
ahead and close.
The rest of
probably
you,
like 7.
as you are walking up, Iskander is preparing and you are gathering your things. While this is happening, while you see this happening, as you are at this highest point, you just take a moment gathering your things. As you kind of turn your back and you just look over into just dense cloud and fog, you catch something in darkness of the clouds that's starting to kind of encroach. You see the storm coming. And just for a moment, you blink. When you open your eyes, just see darkness. And I need you three to go into the other room for a minute.
Can I at least take them?
yeah.
Or wait, I can
Just wait, please.
Hey, perfect.
It won't be long. Yeah, take a quick break. It won't be long, I promise. Now, as you kind of turn and you look over this edge, you blink, and when you open, you're brought back to just darkness. You wait a moment, and you see the shadowy figure almost illuminate with like a gray silhouette far off in the distance, hundreds of feet. You hear just this faint, deep voice. It has been some time since you've brought someone to me. Are we still in an understanding? I fear that one is already close. And you see this dark silhouette of what you can see is smaller tiefling. Most likely Teldris, be locked and chained in the life force just finishing. If he falls, I will claim him. You owe me. These cliffs be a good place to lose another one of your comrades. Don't you think? You hear the voice kind of like hiss. Ah, why won't you listen?
For one, way too suspicious. Me versus all of them would not work out.
We have an agreement. I need to build my army.
I've killed plenty of people. Take them.
I have but these, the power within your friends. They are strong. Choose. And you see another silhouette off to the side. Friends of the party. You see Gildor, who's already been lost. And you see Orem and Fuctus and Magnus. You see Grendridge, Denistine, Percy. Gray silhouetted off to the side. Their lives. They will all be accounted for based on what you do. Before you can say anything, you just see all the grayness kind of silhouette out. Fade. Blink again. See everything. See the peaks and the wind start swirling around. You blink and you turn back. See the party. Seems as if just a moment fade. We're gonna go to break real quick and then we'll come back. Good stuff. Yeah, the most in-depth map is the one that you ripped off of Adre that you have a half of, and that only has maybe in total 5 to 7 like total towns and villages, and it has Penau, and you were even told that those are all completely wrong since whatever the warring has been going on the last 15 years. The one of Hexwell, though, I'll say out of all of them, you can kind of piece together that out of his map, and if you want to take some time, let's say over like the past like day or
I
so,
don't know the process of like drawing them out. I just wanted like the main cities.
right, like maybe match them up. You know, the capitals are kind of wrong on most of them, but you know what the capitals are, so you can kind of makeshift which ones are right. One map has those right. Out of all the other ones, though, there's only like a couple cities. They have a couple of what you might think are right in Yorewood, just by what you've kind of heard. You notice that there's a relic site that's to the north, all the way of Yorewood, to like the northwest of the actual north, like east region of it. You see that there's the Dragon Scale Keep that's been mentioned. That's in like the southwest region of Yorewood. Not a lot of Gildray is even mentioned. Alberzine, you see that there's a couple airport locations south of Alberzine. There's an air dock, and you see that there are actual multiple air dock locations that have been mapped. You're not sure if those are right, but you know at least one exists because you guys have seen it walking kind of in, and one's been mentioned. Aside from that, there's a lot of little villages, but you don't know if they're right. So that's the from you living there, you can check a lot of the things in Hexwell because you know those. You just kind of backhand knowledge know a lot lot kind of Alberzine.
I would know where how do you pronounce it? My home village is like central. I would know like how far it is from the city.
Yeah, you would know that you're not too far from Alberzine at all. Like you're from, I'm pretty sure, the northeast, right? And let me double check.
Northeast of Alberzine?
Yeah.
First then O.
Yeah.
There's
And I have. No, it's.
Oh shit.
Oh damn. Hang on, I'm gonna get it. Anyway. Ondor. There we go.
O-O-N.
Yep, O-O-N-D-O-R. Yes, so you would know, yeah, you know some of the villages around there. But you're not a, you're not a cartographer. You didn't really move around a ton.
I don't know like the generalizations. I want to know like
Here's
boom, 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 boom. I want to know like about like data.
I would say the only things that you guys even know of Alberzine is there's only maybe 8 or 10 major towns that are even mapped or known of. Smaller villages and hovels don't necessarily go by names usually, or they change dependent on who's in authority.
The small stuff, just like the major cities.
Looks like that.
Almost everyone knows.
That's just the capitals.
Yeah, that's what.
Aside from that, you're not sure if a lot of it are right because outside of the Alberzine region,
I didn't realize.
kind of give or take, especially, the last 10 years due to different elections, you're not sure if some of them are even named the same. That's why him mapping things out is kind of important because the map, especially some of the ones that I've given out, are like not right. And that's on purpose.
Yeah.
So that way you guys don't know. Just simply that way. But no, I'll try and get you at least a drawn version because I don't want to have to go through and edit every version just for you for 10 or so maps. But I'll give you a generalization of
9 of the 10, and first 1.5. So I can't technically have 1.5 maps. 2.5 maps.
True.
And half and then 1 of Adre.
True. Well, then you'll have. I mean, I'll tell you in Adre, the Penau is southeastern region, and you know that there's a couple cities that are around there, but the two have different names for both of them. You're not quite sure which one. Once you get there, maybe you can clarify which.
Locations match. Like names. No,
They're slightly off, but they're similar. You see that there's a couple scattered cities to the south, to the east. You notice there's a large forest that seems to be marked with blood. That's all you notice, though.
Large forest marked with blood.
Yeah.
Hey, look, that forest we were talking about. He had a map up too. I was like, oh, is that a forest or a mountain? Looks like a forest.
So we're gonna fly right over there.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, yeah, that would be the one.
Wait, did you say blood forest?
You're a forest made of blood, you know.
Well, my maps have a forest with like a blood spatter on it.
Yeah, his map didn't have blood spatter on it.
But the ones on
Okay, so our goals for being an Adre, what are they? You're getting his
Get the Panau,
now,
find his nephew,
Get Teldris.
get the fuck back out.
Fuck out.
That's it.
and also become a werewolf.
That is your one.
A lichen.
That's
Werewolves only change under full
That is all
moons.
you.
Lichen.
Lichens are controlled.
I'm pretty sure lichens.
werewolves are a type.
It's a type of lichen. It's
Lichens.
different. I've looked this up for my campaign
I
specifically.
believe it.
I'm telling you.
Real quick,
I wanted you to be able to control it, so if you do get bit, you'll be able to control it.
are we like
But it's a curse. You'll have to
where
be
are we
evil.
at right now again?
So you don't-
Anyway, I'm getting stop. Anyway.
I'm already
So what are you guys doing? You guys are standing at the edge. You guys literally just saw this gem cascade back, and you see life just kind of staring off, and then comes back and
I'm
turns.
just like close my eyes and just like just not talk, just stare out into the. All you saw was me stare out into this.
No, I know, but I realized earlier that I've known you for a month. I know you're a man of faith. I have no idea who you fucking pray to. I've never asked you like any personal questions.
Yeah, you didn't even check out my horse symbol.
Nope.
It's all on my shoe. Like
Every reference to religion is in your hands. I got out a book to look into religion.
Iskander looks. All right, guys, it's kind of a weird conversation to be having here when I'm
That's
trying
what
to
I said.
get pumped from a jump.
Yep.
So
Jump. From the jump.
thinking, man. It's just like
we can tangle this up in about 4 hours or so. Let's hope for good currents. Yeah, you see, he's a little nervous, but it seems to be adrenaline starting to kick in. So
he's a man on the edge.
are we ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give Azuna here a little fucking good luck rub.
As you see it, it kind
It's
of.
like, yeah.
So do you have it in your hand? Do you have it in your hand?
I would then pocket it. Yeah.
All right, so you just kind of take it, you pocket
Do
it.
you have a chest pocket?
I mean, it's like, oh, I mean, on my uniform, yeah, yeah, sure.
Just do that.
I was gonna,
Patches.
I was gonna put it in like a pouch in my backpack, but sure.
I don't know. It just feels more personal that way.
Get close to your hurt. I'll have to.
Well, as you pocket it, we'll say, you feel this gust of wind start to kick up. Iskander, he turns to you, down and to your left, immediately right behind you. I will help guide you if you need it. Everybody, in the closest V formation that you can, and stay close. Do not talk or say anything. We do not stop. At all costs, try and look out for each other. If you are failing, do not go to the next person to you. Try and land or make the best of every situation. That's what we say. Good luck to all. We shall speak in 4 to 8 hours. Take the last few easy breaths that you can now and prepare. You will be quite exhausted at the end of this. You wait a few moments. You all peer off as you see that the sky darkens. And as the moonlight, you can see kind of shining through all the fog and the dark clouds, you guys start to push off. As you do, Orm, you push and you can feel everybody in the small just footsteps as you guys all just leap off. And you drop from this high peak. You feel the cold wind start piercing on your face. As you do so, you notice it picks up. You drop quicker and quicker. As you do so, the wind starts blistering. You feel this humming noise, Orm, in your pocket. It starts to slightly illuminate. And you hear the female voice, "Ride the wind." You feel this gust pick up. Everybody give me dexterity checks.
It's 15.
20.
20.
I'm using my inspiration.
Okay.
Where are we? How are we?
14.
Okay, so you see Orm is at the front, Iskander is to the back left. You have Magnus that is right behind Iskander, and then you next to Orm, and then Life is right behind you in the tucked right. So you guys are evenly in like this 5 formation. Perfect. You wait a moment. What'd you roll? 7?
14.
14. As you drop down, you notice you kind of waver for a second. As you see, you kind of slow down, and everybody behind you softens with you. You see Iskander seeing this, he pulls his hand out and he tucks in part of your sinew and pulls your arm in. He doesn't say anything, but in that motion, the whole group slows. You then tuck in, gaining speed. Not just 100 feet are you falling this time. You go way past that. You see these peaks go on for what looks like forever it feels, as you feel the wind start just building. As it does so, you feel the wind. It picks up faster, faster. You drop a couple more 100 feet. You feel the wind and everything in your lungs as you feel this jolt. You feel this turn as Iskander pulls you to the left, and you feel everybody just dodge, and you. Everybody give me a constitution check as you feel the lung capacity as you're breathing in this elevation change compact in on your torsos.
Con?
Yes.
15.
You're good. 18. Okay. As you push through, you feel this wind just passing as you're flying, going.
11.
11. You're fine.
Okay.
As you go through, you feel it compressing. You let out, and then you compress back in. As all of you go through, you feel it. As you pull through, you feel Azuna ride the wind here. And as you do so, you feel this light almost illuminating. You see this soft blue hum. It's almost like you can see this blue, almost essence flowing right in front of you. It's almost like she's pulling you down towards it. You kind of go to dip down a little further, and Iskander, he goes to pull you. He says, no, but he realizes he can't say anything. You descend down. You guys gain speed even faster. Still not pulling up yet. Probably diving close to a mile. As you do so, the speed is getting close to top 180, 190 miles an hour. You feel the speed in your skin start almost feeling as if it's peeling in a way.
Yeah, dog.
As it does so, it starts rippling almost to where your ears start popping. You feel them pop, pop. You drop more. The pressure starts building. You wait a moment and you see this current change. As it does so, you're ready for the strength that you know you're going to need. With this much speed, you guys prepare. You guys start tilting your arms back and the sinew goes taut. You guys all pull out your arms as you lead, and I need everybody to give me strength checks.
I'm not using this anymore.
Okay.
Like, that's like the 4th below 5. Out of 5 rolls.
21. Wait, what you...
Ooh.
Yeah.
I got
12.
I got
Okay.
515.
515. 21. So.
14.
No, you took your 5. No, you're taking it.
Why?
Because you rolled it.
Every roll
You
on
rolled
that
in the
thing.
next one.
Yeah.
So.
Here's another broken arm.
As you go
Rip
through,
Magnus.
you
Yeah.
all pull through. You feel the strength. This wind, like you've never felt before. The gust, whoo, as you feel it, you see all 4 in perfect formation. Everybody guiding you, though. The wind pulls you back. The strength you are not ready for. Not only does it break you from part of the formation, but you get pulled farther back. Give me a dexterity check to see if you can kind of regather yourself. You're still
23.
23, you're still flying fine. So you take a moment, and in a burst of just courage, you kind of pull in your arms for a second. You dive back down, riding it partially again. You pull up your torso, almost bellying like a dolphin, pulling back up. As you do, you arc back and then pull back out the sinew. You get about a foot or so back to where you previously were. Ballsy move, but you made it. You're close and back almost in formation. As you guys do so, you start riding this wind. Now, you feel this current as you notice this fog, as you feel the wetness from all the condensation clouds as you guys now start ascending up a little. As you do so, you notice the sunlight is no longer there. The moonlight starting to shine through. You go about 30 to 40 minutes and you break free from some of the clouds. As you do so, you start seeing large pillars as they kind of start breaking through on the clouds. You see hundreds of feet wide, large red and orange pillars cascading upwards. You guys start flying almost in a southwest pattern towards this barren void. You go about an hour, seeing many hundreds and thousands of pillars, some thousands of feet wide. You see Iskander kind of looking to the side, almost in awe, maybe some that he's maybe never seen.
Is there any like vegetation?
Not from what you can
people,
see, just
housing?
rock. The part from where you are, it's still within clouds. About another hour goes by. You guys pick up what looks to be this large current of wind. It's very warm as you feel the separation once again. You feel Iskander kind of pull you all down as you immediately submerge into it. As you see this blue still essence cascading out from this gem, almost like signaling it. And as you ride this wave almost perfectly, you feel as if this gem almost kicks you forward, pushing this wind faster. Maybe even beyond the speed in which you thought these were possibly going. As you guys all keep flying further, you guys finally break free of all the clouds. Almost in an instant, the condensation in the clouds that were building up and were almost hard to see as you guys were dodging and weaving through for the past hour or two, trying to make it through, you see openness. For the first time in months, some of you years, for the cloud tops, cloudiness and fog and mist is normal. You look around, and as you do so, you wait, and you think maybe that beneath you, you see just darkness. Not due to it being night, but it looks as if some charred plague land has manifested beneath you. You guys fly for 15, 20 minutes, just peering around, and everybody give me perception checks. And this can be an advantage because you guys are taking a while.
I dropped it. It was a natural 20.
I mean, you rolled it.
I got a 20.
Perception?
Yep,
19.
19.
Or
The first one was one. The first one was one. That proves it. That proves
Why are you
this is
still
cursed.
Yeah, why are you using it then?
I quit
Stop
using
using
it.
it!
No,
That's only ever rolled low.
damn. I only use it for attacks now
All right,
because it's blessed me.
so those of you that, what was the highest here? 21?
22.
22 and a 19. So you two see a little bit more. You all notice, though, as you are flying into what looks to be this area known as the Barren Void, you immediately see, after a few moments, the large pillars, black rock that is known to be where the Barren Voids exist. And as you do so, you see it kind of shine in a way that only conflict does. And under this moonlight, you see it just emanating thousands of feet of large pillars emitting from the surface all the way up. You see Iskander and his eyes kind of almost nod as you all are looking around, now just coasting under the will of the machine as the hum in the back of your backpacks basically are just propelling you at this point. You all still look around, you see burn and just charred land, plagued, necrotic land beneath you. You can see over the last maybe months or even years, some sort of charred effect, embered, even spouts of lava in some areas that has hardened, taken over. Vegetation has been completely rid of the area. Where once were cities that some of you knew, especially you, Fuctus, you've been from some of these areas almost now long forgotten, unable to even make out where some of them were. You see just black land ash written everywhere. As you take moments to look around, you see large sites that seem as if, from now looking at it from a sky vantage point you've never seen before, you all see huge formations of what look like sky craters that maybe those who have lived there hundreds, maybe thousands of years, maybe never saw living on the surface, never noticed the formations without finally seeing them from the sky. You guys take a moment, and as you look around, you wait, and then you fly a little bit further. You see this dark figure. You look and you see within the barren void, as now you are a little bit lower, you see Iskander. He pulls down his mask. All right. We don't fly high there. We need to avoid the void. He puts his mask back up, and you see him in a quick motion point. You all see this large, dark, almost horse with like wings emanating, maybe 200-300 feet off, quite massive in size. You don't see it, but the three of you do, and it looks as if Iskander does as well. As he motions, you all slow down slightly. Your top speed may be going 100 miles an hour now. It looks as if, as he kind of pulls on you to slow you down, it seems as if he doesn't want to go noticed. I need stealth checks from all of you.
Hold on. Plus, let's see something real quick. No, I don't have somatic components, so never mind.
19.
19.
15.
So,
Oh wait. Reroll. Because I rolled at disadvantage, but.
go.
It's 21.
Okay, so you guys keep flying, and from what you can tell, you just see this dark silhouetted figure, hundreds of feet off, high within the sky. Seems to have no attention towards you from what you can tell, and it seems to just fade away. At that moment, immediately, you see on the side a pull as Iskander motions. It's time to speed up. At that motion, you guys start tracking faster. He dips down to gain more speed, and then after the whole repetition of going down, diving, gaining speed, and bottoming out and pulling back up, you go extremely fast for about another 30 or so minutes, where you start seeing large pillars start forming again. You now have seen these large, black, almost huge rock formations of the barren voids now leaving you off to the back right of you. And now you see this large formation of pillars coming towards you. The climate changes from what was once cold to a medium normal than what you guys were used to now starting to be a slight warmth. You feel it starting to become 50, 60, and you feel a slight mist of precipitation. As the changeover happens, this large pillar of landmass starts to form, and you see it in the distance. You guys start ascending upwards with the machines humming loudly as you guys all start going up. As you ascend towards, you start getting closer to what you can see to be more mist and clouds. As you do so, I need everybody to give me a we'll make this constitution check just to see if anybody starts getting exhausted at this point.
6.
21.
I'm just cursed in general.
So you take a point of exhaustion at this point.
15.
You're
Wait,
fine.
I get exhaustion?
Yep.
I want to save.
You as well. So 2 points. So you and you'll both get 1 point of exhaustion. Now,
Isn't that disadvantage on all checks?
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
Not saves, just checks.
yeah, not saves.
Yeah,
No.
and he's making us checks. Everything.
We'll cross that bridge when it comes to it.
So you guys go
I
through.
now know why he's using checks and not saves.
You keep flying.
He didn't think that far.
Yeah.
You start flying.
You're underestimating his malicious decision.
I mean,
I know it wasn't planned. I know it wasn't.
As you go through,
that far ahead.
as you go through, you guys fly. You notice that as you guys start getting closer and closer to this landmass, you start ascending faster. You notice that the machines in which you guys are using, they seem to start getting close to possibly the end of their power source. As you guys now have made it in what seems to be anywhere from 4 to 5 hours, you're not quite sure. And as you guys inch closer, you stop seeing the moon. The mist starts reaching in again, and the speed starts topping close to 150 to 180. You guys start feeling the blistering speed as now this warm air starts hitting you. And as you feel it, you notice that not only is it starting to amount to be almost more than you can handle, but it's starting to build as you guys are getting closer to these pillars as you're going up. You guys get more than about 10, maybe 15 feet from them as your belly starts going right parallel with them as you're going almost straight up as you were ascending, as it seems as if Adre is higher than Hexwell. As you guys start making your way up and doing so, you feel the warmth change again, where it's about maybe 70 degrees. The precipitation still raining quite heavy. As you guys do so, I need you all to make dexterity checks at advantage because you guys did training.
So we have normal, yeah.
Oh,
Dexterity check.
yep.
17.
Got a 10.
All right, you're still good.
22.
So you guys still stay in pure formation. At this point, you notice you hear a voice within Azuna. Follow this path. It will be the fastest. You see a blue light, almost like a stream, illuminate off to the right, and you naturally just take it, as it's been guiding you the entire time faithfully. Iskander tries to pull, but you still go and stay on formation. The rest of you go, and as you do so, you finally crest a speed of which you have not hit yet this entire journey. Upwards of 210, the eyes on all of you start wicking water beyond belief, almost to block your vision. You all need to make one more constitution, and this one is going to be saving throw as you guys start going up and over this ridge, and you are going to arc around the pillar and make it onto the top of this landmass and flying over it. As you guys are now cresting over Adre.
Constitution check.
You don't.
Constitution saving.
Saving throw.
How far apart is the group?
In total, you guys are all about a foot from each other.
Oh, okay. So everybody's.
Yeah, you guys are like,
22.
you're good.
Then I'm like 20 something.
Okay.
18 plus 8. 7.
9.
9. So you, as you guys all crest above you, and you feel the air leave you. What's your constitution score? 3? 4? Or your mod. Your mod.
16.
So it's 3.
Plus 3.
So you can hold your breath for 3 minutes.
You don't have.
Okay. Hey, but I also have, because of my aura or whatever, I'm plus 6
Sick.
in Constitution.
Total?
Constitution saves. I'm plus 6.
Well, this
Regular
one.
con is plus 3.
Okay, so as you crest over, you feel this immediate change in direction, just and it just pulls the wind from you. Nothing else really happens other than you notice your breathing is now fucked. You feel all the air is gone, and as the formation still stays, you all look at each other, unable to talk. You're out of air. You have about 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. You don't know how long that's going to make it, unless you have a way to signal or do anything to the group to let them know.
Can't breathe fire. Because you can't breathe, so that's that.
So who's with him? Iskander?
Iskander.
Iskander? Like, he was
He's
able
directly
to-
over, yep.
he was able to use, like, his arms, Like,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
it-
yeah, 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 yep. He seems to be able
He
to at
also
least.
he also fixed his arm. We jumped.
Yeah.
So we're like that close.
Okay.
He literally went.
So like I'm just gonna kind of
Tug, try and pull.
try and reach over, and
Okay.
I'm gonna hold my hand up to my
Immediately,
nose,
as you
too.
try and move your hand, he immediately looks over, noticing.
I'm just gonna kind of like do this
As
in
you-
case if anybody else sees. Because I have a ring.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, God.
Just like-
Yeah, yep. So he gives you a wink. No, he looks at you. He looks at you and he looks around, and as that he kind of gives you this motion of like, you know, give me a wisdom or an intelligence check. Up to you.
Street smart.
14.
From what you can decipher, from what he's trying to tell you, telling you it's okay if you pass out, that they might be able to carry you. He might be able to maybe hold on to you.
And then you don't have to pass any checks. Do you?
I'll just put like a cringe face. And
Right,
be
but
like,
his will be a disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah, but his saves would probably have better rolls than his.
So we're on Adre now. We're on
You are just cresting the edge of the lowest point of the Adre Ridge. You guys are still ascending up, and you guys are still on top, but you guys have made it to the land mass part. Yes, so you guys have now officially entered what we would consider the edge of, like, the edge of Hexwell. You guys are, let's just call it the edge of Adre, or whatever you want to call it, because you guys don't have anything mapped or have any idea. So, you guys still going extreme speeds. At this speed, you will be able to go extremely far still in a couple of minutes. Where do you go? You know that Panau, as you are in this location, give me a survival check.
$15.
Okay, from your location, you guys are coming from what looks like almost the middle to northeast region. You're going to have to go through whatever is almost a partial of the northern region, you know, not what would be considered Panau, whatever that northern region is,
Okay.
and go through just part of it to make it into Panau. That's what you know. You're not gonna make it if you I'll say you kind of maybe know that something's wrong with Fuctus. You're not quite sure,
Okay.
but to make it to Panau, if that's your destination, your only guess without really knowing, he would probably be the better one to judge. Anywhere between, I'd say,
20 minutes.
I was about to say probably like 20 to 30 minutes, give or take, depending on how right you are with that survival check.
Okay. We're kind of on course.
And that's flying.
Yeah. We're just kind of on course.
Yeah.
So we're already kind of have the correct direction.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna continue on this heading. But I am going to look at Fuctus and his inability to breathe.
What?
You kind of tuck your neck and look back.
Yep. And then I'm going. Fuck. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit, buddy. I'm gonna briefly tuck just to get a hand on Luna,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna think. Try and come back.
Okay.
Oh, I agree.
You.
It takes exploded
He's just
chest.
fucking.
Willy Wonka just.
Yeah, he goes head, man.
You wait a moment as
That's like a
you
oops.
as you think that, and you wait a moment. You kind of turn. Nothing.
Well, I tried. All right. Good luck, fuckers.
So, you guys fly on?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you fly for about 3 minutes. As you do so, you start breaking over the ridges of all of the barren lands of the edges. You start cresting into the actual thicker into the landmass of what is Adre. You see that there is thick forests, tons of rain, and vibrant fluorescent flowers that are growing wild everywhere. You guys fly hundreds of feet above, still able to see, and in the middle of the night, under the moonlight, you see it's still very vibrant.
Is it dim light?
I'll say it's not even dim light from your vantage point with the way the moon is. You guys can see. Some of the darkness within the woods is a little hard, very deep in, but for the most part, it's pretty light. And as you guys look around, you just see vibrant flowers growing. Some thickets and thorns, but the entirety of Adre seems to just be flourishing for the most part. And then you guys crest a little further in, and you see burned towns, cities. Some still burning. Some looks as if they've been pillaged within the last couple of months. Some look as if they've been pillaged years ago.
You're saying like the nature looks okay, but any sign of civilization we've seen is just fucked.
Gone. You look around, you see any wildlife or signs. As you look, you see bats. Large clusters of bats. You take moments, you wait a few. You see wolves that kind of scatter around, walking in large packs. And then you finally see what looks to be a small outskirt town, very small. The first town that you guys see. At this point, I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw. So, at this point, you pass out barely. You guys feel him start to slowly, and you see that this backpack starts to kind of waver a little bit. At this point, Iskander, you both see him take his hand out, and he just slaps the back of something on your backpack. The light that seems to be glowing in this small lucent, and it starts double beeping. Almost like a life alert in a way. After a few moments, you see that it stabilizes into a soft beep. And you see Fuctus kind of regain back up. You see Iskander holding onto the pack. Seems to be maintaining and at least co-flying and keeping up at least your weight with your current speed. Iskander kind of turns and looks back at you. He kind of shakes his head. He looks worried. Even though you've passed out, it looks as if he's a little bit more concerned. Not quite sure how long this will be able to last. Now, as you guys peek and keep on cresting for a little bit longer, you see more signs of a warring state. You see what looks like large places that towns have just been left to rot. You guys see burning bodies that have turned to skeleton over years. And as you guys finally get about another 30-ish minutes into Adre, you see as you fly over a couple small hovels in town, still kind of hiding yourselves within the mist, you see a large castle. It's somewhat fogged in a cloudy mist, and you see about 500 or 600 feet leading up to this castle, all of the vibrant flowers are dead. About a mile leading up to where that point was, you see that the vegetation starts turning from vibrant flowers to thorny, thick bristles. And as it gets closer to this large castle, and as you guys start finally seeing is a large wall and what looks to be a small town that's kind of hidden in this misted veil, you see that there are people. Many people. You see many trails. This is the first sign of a large city. And any type of large impact of any life forms or anything move. Iskander tugs on your back left leg. He looks. You can assume that this is maybe bring it down anywhere around here. You're not quite sure if this is the city though. The call is yours.
Then I would, for approaching the city,
Yep, you guys are about, I'd say, 2 miles, mile out.
I would set us down outside the city.
Yeah.
If there's any,
How close do you want to get?
more than a mile.
All right, give me a perception check.
Somewhere probably out of the way. Shit, that's okay.
Oh, I got it. Wow.
Within, Jesus, within 2 miles.
Yeah, come on, come on.
You tossed that one.
Yeah, I'm that bad. Perception 15.
Yeah, you look around. Big forest. Plenty of places that you guys could land. You guys take a few moments. See on the trails, one small caravan seems to be heading towards the city. Whether or not you want to wait to land or land maybe off behind it a couple 100 feet. You want to wait, let the caravan possibly you guys land.
I do not want to be seen.
All right, so you guys,
Marker now, bitch.
you guys take a few moments and you guys fly around to the point
This shit with Teddy's tours on the
where you
side.
guys let them. Yeah. Wait, I'm just saying. Where did you get those stickers, Orb?
Had him the entire time.
You guys wait a few moments where you then finally let them go about a mile in and get out of view from the mist and at least to the point where you know you'll be able to land. As soon as you guys do so, you guys see a pack of small wolves dissipate as soon as you land. No more than 5 or 6. You guys finally land it. I need acrobatics checks as you guys are starting to make your landing.
I'm gonna balloon.
Nice. No.
17.
Oh, I gotta do a disadvantage.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I can't roll.
13. Still
Yeah.
Oh, right.
You're like, he's unconscious. In fact, he should start taking
I'm-
suffocation damage.
I'm
Yeah, he's fine.
passed out. I guess I'm
15.
I'm not dying.
Actually, I'll say you just take like,
It's like 2d6 per minute or some shit.
yeah, I'm thinking, I was like, I know that it's a D6 and I don't know if it's a minute or if it's like,
Every round.
Yeah, and if you don't solve your air problem and you die to that damage, that just shit kills you.
how about this? Give me another con save. 19?
We are slowing down. You should be able to start naturally.
I'm gonna roll this damage. And I'll have it.
As long as it's not 80.
Oh no.
97 suffocation damage.
There's no way.
500.
There's no way I
Your
can do
lungs
80.
like collapse. So does your chest.
Okay,
cavity
so
collapse.
you guys flew for about 30 minutes, so.
Might kill you.
No, it's not. That's what I'm multiplying right now. It's close. You're gonna take 40. You're gonna take 64 points of damage. And as soon as you land, you guys need to do something. So you notice that he fails his acrobatics check. So you guys, and you take another 4 points of damage. So as that happens, you see he takes off his mask. Your Dragonborn friend, he's not breathing. We need to do something quickly.
I was gonna
Okay.
say, my acrobatics
So within
is
this,
22.
22. Oh yeah, what was your acrobatics?
15.
14.
Good thing you okay. So you guys all tuck, 1, 2, 3, land, and at this point you just see Iskander and fuck just face plant and just skid along the ground. Essentially, you run over and you basically resuscitate fuck this back to consciousness.
Does this count as unconsciousness for the
Max.
max thing or not?
Because, yeah, he's almost dead at this point.
12.
So, you feel the lungs breathe back into you. Ugh, that was a close one. All right. Whew. Orm, good calls out there. Sorry for not trusting you. The routes I normally go, I didn't veer off that way, but we got here fast. I'd say no more than 5 or 6 hours. So, now where? There's a city nearby. Is that the city you think? It looks somewhat like what I believe to be Panau, but it's been a couple years since I've been here and things have changed. There's not much left in this part of Adre.
Well, we need to take like.
We can do that.
Take an hour.
We have a safer way of flying. Here.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, we could take an hour outside the city and then try and
What does the land around us look like?
get
Like
camp
a
out.
field or is it
Really want
Forest. Big.
I do have a
you
tent.
use Eyes of the Grave 60 feet around me, and then they don't usually fall undead if they're.
You don't sense anything. You guys wait a few moments. You see Iskander undoing his pack. You guys all take your moment. What are you guys doing with your gear?
Light suits.
Yes, sir. You guys have flying suits. 2 can fit in a bag of holding.
We've got 2, but do you want to risk yours?
Wait a minute. What's his name doing now that we're here?
Iskander,
Yeah, is Iskander gonna bounce?
are you asking him?
Yeah.
My job was to get you here. I have, and he starts looking in his package. He's looking and he pulls it out. This is your charm. 24 hours. And you see as he takes the wings and he crushes them off. It's now active. You have 24 hours to get back.
Wait a minute. Why'd you crush it now?
How do we?
Because why activate it earlier?
No, yeah. I think his point is that if it only activates 24 hours from when we crush it, we could have just crushed it before we needed to use it. But I assume there's a reason for that.
Yeah, I was just that's what I'm asking.
It just needs to know the region we're on.
Okay. So you have to be.
We couldn't have crushed it back at Hexwell, or it would
No,
have.
I was asking why did we crush it? Like, you say it lasts 24 hours. Did that make the countdown start?
Now.
Why did we do that now instead of when we needed to use it?
Because what if something happens soon? Now we're ready.
Oh, okay. In case we needed like.
I was just told by Onrue
Gotcha.
that when we landed to make sure we started the countdown that you had to be back within the next day. Look,
It doesn't.
this is yours.
No, what?
He hands over.
I can't carry this thing. I picked the little thing up with Mage Hand. But I can't carry this with me everywhere.
I put mine in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Is that the thing?
Yeah, this is the thing.
So it is my bag of holding.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
I'm back for that.
How do you activate?
I'm assuming you crush it.
Oh, you just say fly by home.
Imagine if it just took a
it just goes. He's gone.
Good thing you asked.
Technically, nobody is holding it.
Oh,
You have it. You have
Yeah,
vision, so
it's
that's a good
it's
point.
basically floating.
Yeah. Fly
No.
by home.
Just make sure you all are touching when you activate it.
No problem.
Up to 6 individuals.
Oh wait, because Girth, we can actually save one more person.
Now, and you see him rummaging back through his sack. I'm going to head out of here. Pleasure doing business. Remember your silver and your steaks. Those are important. So,
One question: does it have to be wood, or can I use these pittons I have?
I honestly don't know.
We'll test it.
I've
Okay,
never
so one-
wanted to come into face with them. I've just...
I also have a question.
Yes.
How, from my understanding, every time I've seen these things take off, it involves jumping off a mountain. I know we're really near a mountain. How are you planning on getting out of here?
Little turn.
Well, that edge that we flew over, just leap off that.
Oh, okay. Are we that close? Are we close enough?
Oh, no, we're probably maybe 100, 200 miles from it.
I mean, if you give me, actually, never mind. I could. Where you said you wanted to take an hour outside of the city?
Yeah.
Oh, I could turn into a giant metal bird and give you a lift. I'll speed up to get you going, maybe. Enough? You want more? To get you to the edge, and then you can dive again.
Or even
Could get
he
me
knows
part of the
where
way,
He
maybe.
knows where the currents are. He can just take him to.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how.
I could at least maybe shorten it in half. It would definitely do me a good deed, yeah?
Yeah.
You should probably. Can you turn into like a smaller bird for one person carrying?
Oh yeah, I could turn into a giant eagle. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe not too high. We don't want to. And he kind of points over. The city is clouded in some mist, but
It also give you mad vision.
don't want to be seen. Not really worried about running into anything on my way out, but I don't want to be chased. But let's go. For doing so, I want to get back home.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
I'll take my things out of the bag.
All right, so you start prepping your gear. All right, so that takes about 10 minutes for you to get.
I'm gonna put my thing into my bag of holding, and something happens, I'll face.
Yeah, as you
if anything,
as you pull all of your gear out, you notice that this bag of holding, it kind of just sparkles as you pull things out, and all of your gear seems to just be cleaned very perfectly, immaculate. You notice
Does that mean the Rock's cape is
fixed.
not cracked?
No, I'm not. I'm just joking. You wish. No, but it is clean. It seems to be polished, and you notice that all of your gear has just a slight glint to it.
Yeah, I will wild shape into a giant owl.
Okay.
Are you mechanical like the Clash that Titans out?
Yeah.
So you take a moment, you transform, and he gathers his gear, takes his pack. He goes around, shakes all of your hands, and gives you a slight hug. It was a pleasure flying with you all. In my books, you are all flybys. Come see us ever again, and hopefully we can fly. Now,
Thanks for saving me.
no problem. Thank you for letting me fly with you. That was fun. But your equipment, hopefully it makes it back, and hopefully it will aid you in your future adventures, and you find your nephew. Good luck. You take off, you cascade a couple 100 feet into the air, cresting above the tree lines, the rain still pattering. You take a moment, jumps, see him immediately skydive back towards you all, and then you see him in a quick motion activate and just tear off. See him in a matter of 2 to 3 minutes become a speck, and then nothing more into the far mist in which he came. You land, you guys rest and gather yourselves for about an hour. What do you guys want to do?
Does short resting get rid of exhaustion? Or is it
No,
long
it's
rest?
only
Just
long.
Short rest.
When you
Yeah.
hit the campfire.
Short rest. You can choose how many you want to use.
And when you level up, you get one back, right?
You get an extra one.
You get an extra one. When you rest, you get one back.
You would picked up
Yes.
a D10. That's kind of similar.
Nope.
We had one before we slept in a pit. The dragons dudes.
Right.
And that was like right before we got to the mountain.
Yep.
With which dude? So we've only had like one fight and journey.
Yeah.
Said the training and the flight and the trolls probably 10, 12 hours.
Yes. It's quite late into the night now.
Yeah, we're getting.
And you guys are about a
Should
mile,
we camp here
mile and a half
for
out of the
night
city.
and just extend our short rest to a long rest? Or should we go get an inn in the city and figure out if this is the city we need to be in?
It's very late in the evening. It's possible that, I mean, us showing up at the city's gates this late,
That too.
would there be less people to ask questions, or would that be more suspicious? So more questions. I'm thinking more. Maybe it would. What?
Before we left for the flight, how long did we have?
I mean,
for
with
the
like
meeting?
one of your bird forms.
When you guys
It
left,
was like a day and a half or something like that.
so you guys had to travel close to like about 1,000 or so miles, and you guys needed to do it in about 4 to 8 hours easily. You guys had about 35 hours, and you guys know it took about 5 to 6 from when you left. So you guys are sitting at around the 30-hour mark before the meeting takes place.
Yeah.
You guys still have, I'd say close to about 26-ish for where the meeting takes place. You guys would have, you guys have about 18
We
hours.
have 24 hours. Ignore that. We have 24 hours
Yes.
to get out of here.
That's true.
Oh, that's also a good point. Yeah.
So long rest would be 8 of that.
Yeah.
And then we'd have all that other time with all our spell slots and stuff, and HP and all that good shit.
And that's just to instantly get back, which is the preferred option. Otherwise, we're gonna have to fly back. Luckily, we have the things to do that, or find some other way to tell.
I will say though, the only issue with flying back is you can. You guys know the ways to. Don't necessarily know the way.
Well, that's what
Right.
Blue Jim.
That's a
hopefully is
good
working.
thing that you possibly have that. That's all I'm saying.
Good point. So are we taking a long rest? Is that what we're doing here? So that way you just get it done out of the way. The first, we had 24 hours, first 8 hours, boom, long rest. And then everything after that, all in one go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so while you guys are long resting, you guys are kind of sweating because now you guys are in a lot warmer climate.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off. my
I'm
big old
not just
coat.
wearing
Yeah, I'm gonna.
my clothes.
Okay.
Put that coat in the
I
back.
thought I still
Back.
had ordinary like common clothes.
You kind of do, but there's still for you being around Hexwell, it's normal common clothes are still pretty thick, and you are noticing it's very humid here.
Joke's on you. I'm going to bed. I'm ready. I'm Magnus is in
No.
his boxers and a tinfoil hat.
And are you preparing your tent?
Yes.
Who is going into the tent, and what are the other two of you doing? Okay.
It was a basic tent, but I still bought the tent.
Okay.
Who's sleeping with me? Like this.
All right. We'll say for the sake of time.
Did you give that guy a ride?
Yeah, we already took it.
Yeah, he
He's
jumped
already-
up
he's already
and
gone.
took on.
He's already gone.
You guys, if you wish to,
My tent has
excuse me.
alcohol.
I'll lay in your tent.
My
There-
tent also has alcohol. I haven't.
Someone will need to make either you can be Sentry's rest and make a series of just 3 checks or 3 separate watches, but you can make them all at once and we can go over the results just to speed up the time of it a little bit.
I'll take a watch.
All right, so watch 1 you can roll, and then someone can take watch 2.
Perception, right?
Yep.
Okay, 18.
18. Okay, you can just roll them all together, and then we'll just go over them.
That's a 20 total and a over 20 total.
Okay, so
24.
over the 8 hours, you guys have made your little makeshift camp within these pretty thick woods, not too far off from what you've seen to be a trail, maybe hundreds of feet off. You guys have been pretty inconspicuous and been somewhat stealthy with your rolls getting in. As you guys have been being quiet within this new land, being very safe, you guys have seen only 2 caravans make their way in, seemingly of humans, but as you see some of them enter, you smell rotten decay. And even though you're hundreds of feet off, caravans are moving very slowly. You can hear the wheels rest under what sounds like some immaculate weight that they're carrying. And as you guys smell this, you guys take a moment and you see flies that are kind of billowing out of the sides and the back. You can just smell the putrid, like flesh, rotten decay. You guys catch 2 whiffs of this during the entirety of your watches. Nothing more. Just one seemingly horseman that is riding in front of a caravan being pulled. That's all. Nothing more. The city seems to be very dark And the only large predominant building is this castle that seems to be protruding out of the center of it.
Is it foggy?
It is foggy. It is not as thick as Hexwell fog. You can barely see through it, so you can still see the mile-ish, mile and a half to barely make out the silhouette of the city. And you notice that the lighting is very, very dim. And even the moonlight barely shines through in this part. You guys now know that with it starting to crest to become morning, when the sun rises, it still remains dark. Cloud coverage in this area especially, even though you can see it off in the horizon in the areas, there's no sunlight in this area that seems to break through whatever fog this is. You look around, you see fog that is kind of dissipating under the sunlight, breaking it, but in this area, it seems to linger. You guys rest, and you gather yourselves fully rested. New morning, it's about 8 a.m. You guys took a full 8 hours, so you guys have right now about 18-ish hours or whatever left on your quote-unquote timer for the meeting, but whatever that is. Right, 16 hours left for your coin. So, what do you guys want to do?
Get rid of that. I'm fucking preparing spells. I can get rid of that. I fucking need. What the hell is it?
What are you doing, Magnus? Anything? Anything in preparation?
I'm morning drinking right now.
Okay. You guys doing anything in morning preparation while he's preparing the spells? Okay, so
Those two
you're
things.
both preparing your spells for the day. Fuck this, doing anything?
100% what I'm doing. Where the fuck is that spell? God damn it.
I'll say in the downtime, if you wanted to, since you were still sleeping, you would have had some moments while they are preparing spells. If you want any cartography work, you could give me an intelligence check. Give me proficiency bonus on top of that.
Okay.
3.
Plus 3. 17.
Okay, so you notice that just by being here for some time and overnight, kind of stressing about the situation, you are pretty certain this is pan out. Been milling over your maps, things you've heard, gathering some knowledge, looking at the maps that you have, which you've kind of put together and which you've taken from the libraries and of the stores. Quite certain, almost 95% think this is pan out. Fog City. You haven't seen much fog in the area since the sun's risen, and that's kind of indicated starting, even though you're not that intelligent, the cartography is kind of telling you a story. The map's leading you in the direction that you can alleviate that to your party, that you think you're in the right spot.
Seems to be we're in the right area, boys.
Now, as you guys gather your spells and start collecting camp, what do you guys do?
Have I drank enough to be drunk yet?
Yes, you are now drunk,
Sober.
and you sober up.
Is there?
We're heading out.
They're like,
It's like the coffee.
That was fun.
are there any caravans?
Give me a perception check. As you guys have now waited, it's been about 3 hours since your last one, and now that the morning's starting to crest,
23.
you do see one that is starting to make its way, maybe about 200-300 feet off. It looks different. This one does not have a man or a woman helming it with a single horse. This one seems to be 2 horses with a caravan that's got a tarp over the back, white and linen, and you see a single female that seems to be manning it. Or femaling it.
We'll catch this. Fuck, I'm preparing this spell. Holy shit.
But other than that, you see some bats fly around. You see a few pack of wolves that kind of seem to feast on deer. And you guys being quite stagnant in the night, not moving quite around, you guys seem to be going somewhat unavoided.
You guys want to catch a breath?
I am going to.
How slow is this caravan moving?
It'll be gone.
It has been a long time since I've seen any soil or forests quite this lush. The contraband's whole.
You see the caravan.
I'm gonna. Let's say. Hold on. He said that. I'm actually gonna.
Okay, so while he's going,
and Orem is just going to kind of dig his fingers into the soil, briefly. He's going to actually undo his hair has been pulled back into this kind of short ponytail type situation. He's actually going to undo the ribbon, and these cables, these long stretches of cables, are going to come down. It's going to be kind of real Bob Marley vibe.
Yeah.
And he's actually going to just simply lay down on his back, and you see as you almost feel the magic run through him. These cables actually snap to attention and then like wiggle their way into the dirt as I cast Commune with Nature. And in the outdoors, the spell gives you knowledge of the land within 3 miles of you. You instantly gain knowledge up to 3 facts of your choice about any of the following subjects. And the ones I want to know is if there is any powerful undead within 3 miles.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to know if there is any influence from other planes of existence.
Yes.
Okay. Oh god. And
That's 1,000.
yeah. And if there is, we'll go with terrain. Is there any noticeable or notable cave systems within 3 miles?
Would catacombs count as a cave?
It's natural formations, but they
Built
natural
into the
caves, maybe. But if it was something that somebody carved and like bricks and the whole shebang, no.
To give a proper answer without it just being like yes or no, there are.
Mhm.
But
That's
I
all I
would
know.
say,
That's all I know.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit! I could have just asked where the powerful undead was. Whatever.
I would say in the city.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get greedy. That was enough. Okay, cool. All right, I'll fucking redo my hair. I'll pull it back. I'll put the ribbon back, and I will share that information.
Now, as you do that,
I
you
go back
notice
to day drinking.
that the
immediately.
vegetation almost to the east of you is almost flourishing, and where you lay, almost a mile, maybe a mile and a half out, it's hard to tell, it's almost like a dividing point to the other half towards the west, where Adre leads into this town known as Penau in the city. You see that the vegetation becomes very thorny and prickly like, that the flourishing flowers start to dissipate the closer you look. As now laying in there kind of communing with it, you make that notice of flowers diminish the closer they get to almost to the point where they stop entirely.
Like, is it plants stop growing, or
No,
is it like
no.
noticeably more dead plants?
Dead plants, different types of vegetation, a lot of thorny bushes. It's almost like what would be a flower has now turned into this prickly thorn.
So it's getting less green.
This town's got bad.
A lot dark, very dark and dreary.
Let's see.
Yeah,
I need to know.
before the adult.
Most of them.
So what do you guys do?
Yeah.
Now, wait.
Those tinfoil hats.
At this point, as you are doing that, you start making your way over to the side of the road. You run a couple 100 feet over, and you see, as you get closer, Seems as if this middle-aged, maybe younger female in her 30s, she kind of sees you approaching, and she kind of glances over at you, doesn't stop.
How far away is he, by the way?
It's about 400 or 500 feet. You kind of just trucked through part of the forest and ran over to the other side of the trail.
Here, man.
Just a dragonborn runs up in full plate. You're like, hey, everybody.
So I mean, all my weapons, you know, they're holstered.
Right.
You're just gonna wave.
You wave, and she kind of halts, and you see her kind of pull on the reins, and you see a small little kid's head poke out of the front of the tarp and look out, and you hear a voice, and you speak common, and why have we stopped? And you hear, why, darling? How does it, traveler?
All right. Where do you come from?
I'm from the village back. Why?
I got some travelers, some companions with me. We were gonna check out the city. Is that where you're heading?
Yes, I need to get some medicine for one of my boys. There's a supposedly a good medicine maker here, an apothecary or something, I was told, that could help with his cough.
Have you been here before?
Never.
What's your name?
Name is Sindra.
Tell her my name. Fuck this. Would you mind giving us a ride?
Give me a persuasion check. Whew.
19 plus 7, 26.
I mean, I don't see how I can turn any traveler who needs just a quick ride into town. It's not more than maybe a mile or two. How many of there are you?
There are 3 others.
Can I trust you? You're not going to take advantage of me or anybody else? It's just me, my boy, and my oldest daughter.
We mean no harm. Actually, one of my companions might be able to help with your problem.
She kind of takes a moment. Okay, I'll wait a moment.
I'll be right back.
She nods. You kind of go back into the forest. You.
Can I insight check her that she'll wait?
Yep.
Lying bitch. One of my things gives me wild advantage on this. I'm gonna go ahead.
Okay.
I think it's the stone.
Yeah.
The stone gives me wisdom insight advantage. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It might be +2 though.
Oh my god. So.
4. You're not sure, but she doesn't seem to be ill intent. She seems to be pretty fair. You kind of dart off. You keep looking over your shoulder, unsure. Caravan is still seen because you can still see it from where you're at.
Yeah.
You wait a moment. You reconvene. Tell the group of what's transpiring. What do you guys want to do?
Sure. I mean, this is probably the most promising way we've gotten into the city's walls
Kind
yet.
of what I was thinking.
I don't
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, no,
Turns out
I
you guys ask how we want to be in the city.
Okay.
Why have we never tried this before?
Body shape, everything different. Pretty much just me. Like,
You notice we're in like a
Horns?
land of vampires and
No
werewolves.
horns?
It's gonna be
Yeah,
a
he'd probably fit in. He'd probably fit right in.
me.
Did you just take away horns and a tail?
Yeah.
Got you.
I still want to tell
like,
that though.
like,
And you're pretty pale?
Yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
we should come
Hey,
up
like-
with some kind of like.
We're in a land of vampires and werewolves. I don't think
Right.
a tiefling's gonna stick out
Like,
too
what are we
hard.
gonna say? Where are we from? Where are we?
Just in case it breaks, don't panic. Is
I
what I'm
could,
saying.
I could switch
It's
my
not
stealth
concentration.
uniform.
I'm fine.
We could just be a couple.
All right, so you guys are all gathering and going?
I don't know.
I didn't know.
More suspicious or less suspicious.
Okay.
I made it work.
So you guys
I don't
take
use magic.
a few moments. You gather your things. You guys make it following. Fuck this.
Scholars.
What's
I'm going with it.
if somebody
Okay.
asks who the fuck are we? I mean, are we just a group of adventurers? They could be a group of adventurers. I don't
Nah, we're the Moonlight Marauders. Nobody knows this here, and I want this guy to fucking know we're
And
fucking.
we could say
Yeah.
that we know that his nephew has been traveling these lands.
Yeah,
we
we-
don't have to tell.
I mean, yeah, honestly, might actually work here.
I don't know. I kind of want to be famous. And we tell everybody who we are.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
It's 50-50. I don't really care. It's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You want to be honest? Be honest. Or take the lead. See
Yeah.
what happens.
All right, so you guys trek through, gathering your gear, gathering everything. You take about 5 minutes and make your way back. She's still there. She sees all of you. Quite an odd bunch you have. You see one of the boys. That one's metal, Mom. And she's like, yeah, he's a shiny one. You gleaning, very clean now. Look very noble-esque in your gear and attire. She sees the rest of you walk up. The little girl kind of looks at you. Like your hair.
Thanks. Continues.
As soon as you do that and she sees just the thick muscle and everything out of her hand, she kind of just takes a step back and you just start chugging away.
This thumb.
You, a pale human, doesn't seem to stand out too much. You guys all kind of gather into the back of the caravan. Doesn't seem to be much other than these two individuals and her and what looked to be some sleeping equipment and food, just a few rations. He turns. All right, we'll be in town in just a few minutes. If you don't mind, just sit in the back there. He kind of on with the horse, and you see the horses gallop on. You guys.
What's wrong with your boy?
And I got some cough. It's in my throat or my chest, and it won't go away. It wears me out, and I sometimes cough up some stuff.
Does lay on hands work on disease?
Yes.
At least 5 points.
To
Yeah.
What
he's
was
gone.
I can do it. That's a restoration of cures of disease.
You see as he kind of like coughs and like
Which one costs less? That's the only one.
Mine's a spell slot.
You see what I can do, boy.
she kind of looks back. What? You don't need to touch him. That's why we're here.
I do have to touch it.
It does it anyway.
This is when we learn. We have children together, little boy.
Yeah, no shit.
I actually have a magical power that can heal disease. Do you mind?
Payback for letting us, ride in here.
Seem like a nobleman. Just be careful. I love him. Theodore, just stand still. Just sit there.
Give me your hand.
What? Theodore?
See, he puts out his hand. Okay. And you lay through and you see this almost thick, like brown, very pale, to the point where you can see his veins running through his entire body up and through his face. You wait a few moments and you feel this like warmth kind of flow over. You wait a moment. Doesn't seem to be in effect. But then you wait. You see this small little wound on the backside of his. A small little prick, two side by side. And as it goes up, you see the heel. It kind of heals it over and you notice it. You see him as it does. Ah. And you see his mother. What was that? Oh, I was just playing with Sissy, and by one of the waterfalls, there was a bat. And, well, I swatted at it, and it bit me. And, yeah, just haven't been feeling good since then. You see the mother just kind of turn. Well, that would have been good information to know before we came here. You see her just kind of roll her eyes. Okay, so can you help him?
That acted like a curse, right?
Get rid of it or still?
You look at him and he seems to be visibly maybe a little bit better.
Maybe just like receding, but not.
Yeah, you see that
Treated it,
there's
but I
still
didn't
some
cure it.
affliction or something that seems to be ailing him. You're not quite sure. You wait a few
Does anybody have
moments.
detect magic?
You guys go
Wait, do you
about
have
another.
Identify prepared?
How did Bodhi do that?
Yeah, he hasn't leveled up yet.
I said
It's-
identify.
So
He
we're
doesn't have identifier.
we're in the
We're waiting
caravan
for him
with
to level up to
the
get
children.
home.
And nobody's up front with her. She's just by herself.
By yourself.
Can I like climb through to the front?
Yeah, you kind of make your way through and you kind of go up to the front and you sit next to her. And you guys now notice you're about 500 feet from the front of this like large kind of stone wall that's kind of been broken down in some places. And you see two individuals at this front gate.
Won't you try to remove a curse from the...
Okay. So you lean over and while Fuckus is making his way forward, kind of...
Talk to her.
You reach forward and you focus, and this time you notice that something pulls from within. Notice that this dark, almost blackish void of almost like sand descending, coming out of this boy's like throat as he almost just like, ah! As it pulls out, you see it just kind of dissipate. See the boy just kind of, and he passes out for a moment. You see his mother turn. What are you doing? He kind of slouches down, and then you see his sister sit next to him and kind of hold him in her arms for a second. And he kind of, you see now the color finally fully comes to his face for the first time since you all have been in this caravan for about 15 minutes. And you see mark on his neck, still not there. It's gone. It's healed from whatever was there previous. You wait a moment. No cough. Sit. Nothing. You see him kind of sit up. I do feel better. Throat hurts though a little bit from coughing, but Mom, I think I do feel better. You know that something was trying to latch on to this child. You're not quite sure what, or even if it was magic, but there was some sort of maybe not quite so heavy curse that had been put into this individual, and you'd caught it at its very early stage.
So it was less a disease, more of a curse that was in the process of becoming more.
Mother kind of looks at you.
First disease.
It might have an element of disease, but it was still
Like it spreads like a disease, but it's a curse.
Well, maybe if it would have gone on longer, maybe it would have turned into something else. Who knows?
Bad, I'd say.
She kind of just turns down and looks, taking the reins completely off. She kind of just feels around his chest and everything. You're okay? He's like, yeah, Mama. I feel better. At this point, you just hear the horses kind of stop, and you see an individual as you now turn around. Halt. Who goes there? This is the city of Penau. We ask any and all travelers why they have come. This is Herod territory. As you walk, you see two large male individuals with this demonic-like skull with a circle around it with blood smeared in almost a circle. That's where we're going to end today's session. We'll pick up there next week. You guys in a caravan with these two guards approaching you at about 8-ish, 9-ish a.m.
Oh no, our luck with like entering with other people's caravans has not been good.
Yeah,
As a party.
Yeah, it turns out getting inside of cities are at risk.
We also we also just like dismiss the reason for them going into the city.
I mean, they don't need to know that. I mean, they might see the boy and how he doesn't look sick anymore, and yeah.
Well, how would the guards know the fucking kid's sick?
Well, we'll pick that up next week and see how you guys handle it.
Yeah, I'll go to see if I can check the little girl.
They could just be here for supplies.
Okay, you look around. You don't see, just at least visibly in the quick second. You can do more next if you want.
You could have waited like 5 minutes to cure the kid.
But no,
This was our ticket in.
good episode, guys. We'll pick up there next week.
So fucking nice.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. And yeah, until next time, guys. Peace out.
Wait to heal him in the city.
Yeah.